We're swimming in the middle of the night and shit, and we stop, we're checking coordinates. I mean, you can't see fucking shit. I would not be able to see you right now. Like, you have a dive line between, like, me and you. All of a sudden, we feel this whoosh. And I'm like, what the fuck? I see this, just a slightly more black wall, just go like this by me. You're vulnerable as fuck in the water. You accept you're in the middle of the fucking ocean, in the middle of the fucking night. There's things that will want to kill you.
Chris, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Dude, all right. We're gonna have a pretty cool conversation today.
Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. Thank you. This is
Absolutely
amazing.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Wanted to have this conversation. You're buddies with a fellow guest we had on, and John. His life story is out of control.
He's nuts.
Yeah, I've actually listened to his episode a couple times, and every time I've rewatched it or listened to it, what that man has gone through as a child and overcome is incredible. But he recommended and said he's got you, good buddy, wants me to come on and talk. And I want to talk about a couple things. You went through SEAL training.
Yes, sir.
Ended up getting injured. Phase 2.
Phase 3.
Phase 3. Going into phase 3. You made it through phase 2.
Well, technically, the injury occurred before Hell Week. I just didn't know what happened.
Okay.
And then my back went out in third phase in land nav. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So I want to jump into that. And then you have a new brand.
Yes, sir. 100% veteran-owned Boise brand. We just launched 6 months ago.
Nope.
We're 100% veteran-owned. All of our athletes and affiliates are military, law enforcement, first responder.
Cool.
Period. We don't do any models, anything like that are unless they're prior service.
Perfect. I love that. I'm a huge, obviously, an advocate for veterans in law enforcement, first responders. We give everybody an opportunity to come on. I got some other gifts. There's actually a local Christian-based brand here, and I actually met her at one of our what do they call it? Farmers markets.
Nice.
So Golgotha brand, right?
Love it.
So I don't know if you're familiar with that, and I got some Wild Chaos swag for you, but the Golgotha is really cool. I'm actually rocking one of their shirts.
I see that. Yeah.
So they went kind of grunge, punk, gothic in a way, which is obviously Golgotha's where Jesus was crucified on the hill, and I think it's what stands for the place of skull, I think is what it translates to.
Rad.
So they go more of like retro, old school, and I think it's
very punk rock feel.
Which I love because I feel even though there's nothing wrong with any Christian brands, it's all very clean, which is what I love. But then to see somebody bringing back some awesome apparel, some punk rock stuff, kind of what we grew up with, but with a Christian base to it.
Yeah, this stuff.
So
That's
I allow other veterans, law enforcement companies to send us some swag or gear, and we hand it out to guests just as a kind of a thank you for them serving this country. And obviously you're one of them. That's why I wanted to have you come on and talk about what we got going on here. So
that's awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, dude. So let's just jump into this, bro. Yeah. We've never met before.
Right.
Which is true fashion of Wild Chaos. I'd say 90% of my guests.
Yeah.
It's the first time meeting him.
It's the wild and the chaos together, right?
Yeah.
That's the point.
And that's where a lot of people are like, bro, like these conversations you have, they're like, man, did you know this guy ahead of time? And I'm like, never met him before.
Never before. Just a friend of a friend.
Exactly. So
all the great things happen, right?
It honestly is, man. And I feel this is the most genuine, authentic way to get to know somebody instead of, we might get there one day where I have a team and we're doing all the research and all the bullshit that comes along with all of that. But I feel this is the most genuine way to get to know somebody is to put you on camera in front of thousands of people.
That's okay.
We're going to have a conversation. Yeah. So
no pressure.
All right, bro.
At all.
Who are you? Where are you from?
So my name's Chris Rullie. I originally grew up south of Seattle.
Oh, okay.
When I was about 21 years old, moved to San Diego to train for the SEAL pipeline. So that we can certainly get into. Yep. Then about 4.5 years ago, we decided to pick up from San Diego and move here to Boise and restart because, as most people know from California, it was just a kind of a wild place, especially during COVID.
Yep.
I always explained it's basically ripped the Band-Aid off the state and kind of exposed it for what it was. And it just was just not safe for the kids. And I just decided it was time to go. So we got here about 4.5 years ago, reset the balance. I mean, stayed in the career field that I was in. Same with my wife. She is transaction coordinator, so she, does stuff remotely regardless. And really, the emphasis on the brand really started here, just continually being outside, trail, because I'm a big trail runner, big avid trail runner. Did race to Roby Creek and all that stuff. Always been an athlete, just endurance based, a lot of lifting and CrossFit style stuff. But yeah, that's really where it started, was just being kind of fed up with what was offered. And I had been iterating with a couple brands. But this was about 4 years ago. I'd provide feedback, and, they would just kind of kick to the curb and say, hey, sorry, that's, not really relevant. And so I said, well, I'm just going to make it for myself then. And then I kind of reached into my, nexus of people and my contacts who are still in the military, very close with a lot of SEALs, a lot of team guys. And, full disclaimer, I'm not a SEAL. I do not claim to be one. Nope. I think it's very important that people, say that, right? Because there's a lot of stolen valor, right? It's a tremendous amount. And not just, folks that, maybe express that they did something that maybe they didn't, but even before you go in, right? It's a tremendous disservice to that community. For example, and we can get into this, right? When I went in to get my SEAL contract, right? Because this was about, 2009. So they had basically changed over the process of going into BUDS from, well, you got to go into the Navy for X amount of years, get your rate, do all that stuff. And then you get selected to go through the BUDS pipeline into do your PST, which your physical screening test, yep. Do your ASVAB, do your C-sort, which is your psych test, and ASVAB is your educational, screening, and they'll take the top percentage and push you in, right? So it was basically a trial by fire to get in.
Did you know you wanted? Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Did you know you wanted to be a SEAL?
So yeah, that goes way back. So we'll take a few steps back. So I grew up. My dad was a Major Green Beret.
Okay, okay. All right. This is why I love these. We're just peeling apart. We're just going to peel these.
Peel the onion, man.
What is it like growing up with a Green Beret father?
It's exactly what you would probably anticipate. Quiet professional.
Okay.
Right. Just doesn't say much, but it's always those quiet ones you got to worry about, right? Yes. After he retired, he became a sergeant, sheriff's department. Okay. And did that until he retired. So the man just worked service his whole life. Okay. And just to throw in, like, just the life of service, just the cornerstone and so my dad passed away from cancer.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, and it was about 9 years ago. Okay. On his, his final days, the nurse came in and she was in tears, and I had been with him for, every day. Like I was finishing college, and it was very challenging, but I like to tell this story because so many times people overlook, like they just say, oh, thank you for your service. Mm-hmm. Or, hey, we take it for granted, like what these individuals do every single day. And it just couldn't be, and it bleeds into the brand every single day. And we'll talk about that, but just the capstone to kind of my dad's life of service was, he was on his deathbed, right? He was, he was in the hospice, right? We knew what was going to happen. Yep. He passed, like, I think a week or 10 days later. Nurse was in tears, and I was like, hey, are you okay? And she goes, your dad saved my life and my daughter's life, and I can't stand seeing him like this. It gives me chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, I got goosebumps.
It's unreal.
How so?
So him and his partner had got called to a domestic abuse location, right? So he gets there, they kick in the door, and the husband is beating the crap out of the 4-year-old daughter and her. And my dad, being prior Green Beret, he was also a black belt in numerous. I mean, martial arts was huge in our family. We grew up with all that. I grew up basically kung fu, Kaji Kempo, all that stuff, and he would lead that. But long story short, right? So they end up beating him up pretty bad, right? And saving their life, like they were on the edge of death, like essentially, because the guy was in a drunken rage, just out of his mind. And so this nurse comes up and she's just bawling because she's like, it's difficult seeing my hero die. And I was just blown away.
Your dad saved this woman and her daughter, and she ended up being his hospice nurse in his final days.
It was unreal. It was like God just said, I want you to be there with him. It was unbelievable. Like, and I'm just like, I'm chilled out, dude. Like, I can't.
100%.
It's unreal. So
we have a saying in this house, and we call it God shit. that you can't explain.
That's
When there's weird things like that happen, my wife and I will look at you and be like, that's God shit, because there's no other way of explaining it.
There is, I mean, you can science it up all you want, but
man, what are the chances of that?
It was unreal. It was one of the last people he saw, because after that, basically, he went into bed and he just was kind of out of it on morphine and all that other stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I like to tell that story as hard as it is, but to me, it's just the fabric of what I got to grow up with, the privilege that I got to grow up with a service, just a role model like that. My brother is still serving in the National Guard. The SEAL piece came up because my dad initially went into the Navy. Back then, it was only a 2-year enlistment.
Yeah.
He went in to basically just to pay for the rest of his life, because he just didn't have any ability to care for himself because his parents passed away and all that other stuff. So basically went in, got his 2 year finished his 2 years, but during he tried to go try out for buds, but he had sinus problems.
Okay.
He didn't ever go into the pipeline, but they did screening back then and he just couldn't do it. So he ended up finishing his 2 years, gets out, gets his degree, goes back in and becomes a Major Green Beret. So enlisted, college, officer, full retirement, just crushes it, hammers it. You know, I grew up wearing the Jungle Type 2 camis. Just, I mean, there's pictures of me just thinking I'm Rambo and all the, I mean, you know, and during this time in the 80s, it's like, you got Rambo, you got Schwarzenegger, you got all the things that everybody just takes for granted, right? But, you know, I got to grow up in that environment, right?
Did you get to keep a lot of your dad's stuff, like camis and things?
We have bags of it, yeah.
Good for you.
It's you know, the sea bags are full of them and all the other stuff.
Good.
And we got a lot of that stuff, and we will never let it go, right? But yeah, so I got to grow up in that environment, and that is a standard, right? That balances you as a human being. And I mean, we can go all over the board with this, but the point is to answer your question, yeah, I grew up basically with a target to go to buds, because I wanted to accomplish. I felt like there was unfinished business that I wanted to go do. My brother was never. You know, he didn't want to go to do the SEAL stuff. I'm a creature of the water. Like, and we can talk about this, but like one of the last things that you do during Hell Week is around the world. You're basically you're paddling, you're getting your butt kicked at, you know, basically every mile on the beach. And we basically finished that, right? And it's, I don't know, I want to say that's like Friday morning at maybe like 1 a.m, right? So you secure Hell Week at like 11 that day. And so we're like hours from finishing, and the instructors are like, Rullie, you still like the water? I'm like, who ya, instructor? And he's like, you hear that, everybody? Rullie still likes the water. And so unfortunately everybody had to surf, but I was like, fuck it, I don't care. That's me, man. Like, you can beat me all you want, dude. You ain't going to ruin it. So whatever. But yeah, so I kind of felt like there was unfinished business there, and, you know, we can dive into that, but I would say for sure the proudest moment was finishing Hell Week and laying in my bed. I was the last one in my room, by the way, so nobody else was in there because everybody else had quit. My legs were up, and I got to call my dad, and I just had that conversation with him. Just hearing him gives me chills again, just because. And you know, back then we weren't like taking pictures of each other, like you know, like it is now. Like, you take pictures of everything. I wish that the technology was there, that I could have captured that moment. And I was so out of it. Like, by that time, even by like basically Tuesday night, like, you're basically a zombie. You're just a living body moving.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
You want to be a SEAL. Walk me through from start to finish. Like, you get a contract. Obviously things have changed.
Yeah.
In the Navy, they're allowing guys to try to go strictly Navy SEALs right by this point.
Yep.
I think they did the same with the Marines. Like, you could get a recon contract.
It's the same with the SWIC guys, the Air Rescue,
all those dudes.
All the different,
Which I feel is great, because there's a lot of dudes that were joining the Navy and they're washing out and they're becoming like a cook on a ship.
Well, think about this. Like, if you're talking about recruitment, right? Like, you know that 90% of those dudes are washing out, right, or quitting. I mean, you're getting educated, you know, extremely high performing people, and the Navy basically gets to pick, because basically when you quit, like, they, you know,
needs of the Navy,
and you got these super overqualified dudes. I mean, we had guys going in with degrees that were going enlisted. They were going enlisted. They were not going officer, because they wanted to go do the job. I mean, that's like the biggest piece. Like, my best friend is deployed right now. He's a team guy. You know, he went enlisted to officer, and he's like, man, I'm not going to be able to do the job anymore. You know, I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do is kick indoors and do the stuff. And, you know, that's, from my understanding, that's basically why all these dudes, even with degrees, they'll go enlisted because they just want to keep kicking indoors and do the job, which makes sense, right? That's the mentality. That's the DNA of the individual.
That's why you become a SEAL.
I mean, and that's, you know, 100%. So, yeah. So the question, right, you know, how did this all start? I would even back up before I go in, and I would say, you know, when I moved to San Diego, I did it intentionally, right? Okay. Everything to me, and this is my life purpose, this is my business sense, I look at it as a chessboard. Everything is a chessboard. Not that you know, everybody's like a pawn or whatever. It's not metaphorical. I'm saying life is challenging and complex. Dynamics between human beings are challenging, complex. Accomplishing something like getting through Hell Week or getting through even second phase, which I'll talk about, that was even more of an accomplishment for me. Maybe because of my dad, the diving piece, but some other things too. But you know, everything's super complex. So I saw the trajectory and the ability to get into that, just even getting into the program, being successful. I needed to isolate myself. I needed to monk, basically, right? Remove every single distraction that I could possibly think of. I'm going to San Diego. It's full of nightlife.
Yep.
The only industry they have is bars and restaurants. Yep. You're surrounded by college chicks. Like, what are you going to do to stay focused, right?
You're not hanging out at Pacific Beach.
I worked there.
Yeah, I've been in many fights at PV.
100%. I hope I didn't kick you out. Okay, so I'm, and I can say the name of the company because they're not around anymore. But yeah, so I basically moved there. I became a bouncer for Typhoon Saloon.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, no shit. Okay. I know you've been there because you seem like the type thing with like 80s hair metal. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Wednesdays all day. Yeah, Fred's Mexican Cafe, all the good stuff, right? So I became head of security, so I was managing like 40 to 50 guys a night, okay? What that allowed me to do, that was intentional. It's not because I, you know, couldn't go do some other thing, right? I did that intentionally because I was working from 5 o'clock until 3 in the morning.
Okay.
I couldn't drink, couldn't party, couldn't do shit.
Kept you out of trouble.
I had to work. I'd go to sleep. I'd wake up. I'd have the whole day to myself. Nobody's in the gym. Nobody's on the trails. Nobody's on the beach. I got to get up. I go for a 6 to 8 mile trail run. I get in my car. This is after I moved, just a little bit down the way. Because when I originally started, I'd literally run from my house. It was about 3 to 4 miles, and I'd get to the workout facility. But at this point, once I started to get closer to being pulled into the program, I'd go for a 6 to 8 mile trail run. I'd get in my car, go to the gym. I would swim a minimum a mile. And like right now, and I'll just stop and I'll just say, if I had the feeder like training programs that are out there, like the Warriors Calling and places like that, my life would have been so much better. I'm sitting there watching like these old ass YouTube videos on the combat side stroke and all these other things. I'm trying to figure it out. Naturally, I'm a water person, right? Like I would ditch school to go cliff jumping, right? That's me, right? Personality type. Of course. There's logs. I don't give a shit. Let's jump in. Let's have fun. It's freezing. I don't care. Let's jump in, right? So I would get there. I would swim a minimum of a mile, combat side stroke left, combat side stroke right, backstroke, a breaststroke, right? Then I would do an hour of drown proofing, underwater travel, drown proofing. Like,
what is drown proofing?
What is drown proofing? Yeah. It's when you see the videos, the dudes are tied behind your back and you're jumping in and you're bobbing, taking a breath, you go down, you do a front flip or back flip and all sorts of different dynamics, right? So that's drown proofing.
This in the ocean or in a pool?
No, this is in a pool.
Okay.
This is in a pool. But it serves you well when you get in the ocean, right? Like just really what it's all about is just being confident and calm in the water. Because that's what will kill you in water. I mean, a riptide comes and pulls you.
If you just float, you're going to go with it. You're just going to be out of
go with it, and try to stay parallel to the beach. And then once the rip current, get out of it, and then you swim to the beach. But problem is, people they panic and they start freaking out. Man, we can go a million different places, but yeah. So I would get into the pool. I would do those things. I would do the drown proofing. I would get out, hit the sauna, then I would weight lift, and then I would run home. Or at this point, I'd get in the car and go home, right? I'm putting in 3.5, 4 hours a day, literally working out. Is intentional. It's purposeful. Yeah. You have to do that. And, many people will say, like, what's the one piece of advice for training you'd give me? I would say, remove every single distraction that you can. And they go like, well, my wife, and she's going to crush me again for this, but it's true, right? She's my wife now, right? So I not only made it right, but it was a fantastic relationship. Like she definitely emotionally supported me. Every weekend I was with her during training. It wasn't like, this wasn't anything. So it's kind of a disclaimer to that, because I think some people will hear that and be like, oh, well, what are you saying? Like, a partner isn't good to have during this. It wasn't that. It was I wouldn't date her. I wouldn't make her my girlfriend. Okay. I was like, we can date, we can, whatever, hang out. We can go to dinner. We can do those things. But for some reason, just in my head, I was like, as soon as I give you a title, I have responsibilities. Mm-hmm. My mom and dad stayed married, right? No divorce. Like, I watched them, like, very committed, right? And they always say, like, if you grow up in that environment, you're more likely to have that yourself. So the long story short is, I basically told her, I can't make you my girlfriend. I got to stay focused on this. And to me, it was removing the possibility of having some other commitment other than accomplishing what I needed to do, which was
elsewhere,
which 100%. Mm-hmm. And people would think I'm crazy, but I got to go through that, and I got to watch during Hell Week, before Hell Week, even before first phase, where people are like, fuck this. I had a fight with my wife. I got to go.
Oh, bro. I mean, I'm not throwing shade on women, because I love my wife's my best friend.
100%.
But when you have a goal like that and you're young and dumb and you have all the distractions and everything's pulling you in every direction, the last thing you need to add to that is a woman.
Well, your emotions will pull you in a million ways.
Yeah,
right?
and then you start going through drama. That's where your headspace is. You're not paying attention to things. You're missing minor detail. I think that's a great decision. Like that's a very.
I'm also 21 years old, right? Yeah. And it's like, okay, right, and it's not that I'm immature. I mean, I'm basically an ape running around, right? The man at that age, right?
Sure, we're all primed.
But at the same time, I had the direction and the the want and the need to go attack this objective.
Yep,
and I did, and it served me extremely well. Right.
Good.
So that's where it started, right? A lot of training and purposeful and intentional construction of my environment to ensure that, number one, I got the contract I wanted as soon as I could get it. And two, that I was going into the pipeline as strong mentally and as strong physically as I could.
Yeah.
So went into boot, did all that stuff. And by the way, if you're listening, you're going into boot and you're, going into a special operations pipeline or selection, you're going to get out of shape in boot camp. We were literally working out in the laundry room at night when the instructors were leaving. When they would leave us and we're just, standing watching our stuff, we're all just getting a pump in the laundry room. Pull-ups on the bars, basically the piping, you're doing pull-ups, sit-ups, air squats, all the things. And,
Wait.
Yeah.
I've never heard this before. So if
you might hear some things you've probably never heard. I don't know.
So if being in top at what you could do by yourself, being top Navy SEAL ready, going into Navy boot camp, you are actually becoming
you come out and
shape.
Every single person is so pissed off because you're just like, what is going on? Yeah, dude, because they can only work you out so much, right? They can only condition you so much because of all this nonsense standard stuff.
Okay.
And it's like they even put you in your own little special division, right? They're like, oh, these are all the SO candidates. Da, 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 da.
So you're not in a normal platoon?
No. They put you in your own. They basically put you away from all the other Navy and your own segment, like you're some special thing. And it's like, okay, we're getting out of shape. Number one. Number two, we're all bored out of our mind. Number three, when you beat me, we're just like, what is this? It's absolutely. Think about this. You have these people that are just. My swim buddy, who is a wild story, dude quit right before a swim. He's a swimmer. He's a junior Olympic swimmer.
Okay.
But you have those types of people coming in that are the highest caliber athletes, and remarkably intelligent. Uh-huh. I was by far the dumbest dude. That's fine. Like I'll admit it. Like it's okay. I'm creative, right? But no,
I've always been that guy.
That's okay. We're all,
hey, we're making
appreciate
it. We're making it.
Thank you. No, yeah.
I show up in class and be like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah. I got other things to do. No. But yeah, you got these remarkably intelligent, extremely athletic people, and you put them into an environment where there's standards, right?
Yeah.
There's standards, but these people are different. They're a different breed. They're a different animal. They just came through a pipeline that accepts 2% because back then it was roughly like 2 to 4% of the applicants that would, for the SEAL pipeline, you get your SO contract.
Oh, no shit.
That's it. It's that across the nation. And I'm literally going to San Diego doing my PST every Monday. There's 120 to 130 people every single Monday trying out for an SO contract. I went there for my first time, and like I said, I monked out, right? Like I was doing what I needed to do. I was technically a little bit older, going in at like 23.
Is that old?
I mean, not necessarily, but we would see a lot of folks, and this is another surprising thing that I think most people don't realize is that I don't know the specific statistic on it, but just looking around and remembering, a lot of the dudes that are around me were older.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's a maturity thing or what, or just in life you're realizing like, fuck it, I'm gonna do the hardest thing I can find.
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think is
probably. And I think, but yeah. So you're surrounded by all these old, 20s, early 20s, and so yeah. I mean that's kind of how it started. We went in and did that, and I mean just a lot of hard work to get in for sure.
So Hell Week, once you're in, you make it through boot camp, which is crazy because I never would have pictured you guys are getting out of shape being at boot camp, but again, it is a Navy boot camp.
100%.
So then you get ready for Hell Week.
Outside of boots, so you go what's called a prep school, right?
Okay.
So prep school is, if I recall correctly, I think it's 3 months.
What are you doing at prep school?
They're basically reconditioning you into your physical shape. So
how bad were you?
How bad?
Coming out of boot camp to go to
terrible.
Prep school?
Like I remember the first thing I did was get in the pool.
Okay.
Because I know that element will destroy you if you don't do it right. Running and swimming. If you cannot do those things, I promise you'll wash out. I promise you'll quit. I watched an officer quit in second phase the first day in the pool when we were doing buddy breathing exercises. Dude, and I'm telling you, they don't want to see an officer leave because they're highly invested in those individuals.
A lot of money put into that.
Tons of money in those guys. I mean, enlisted, they'll be like, all right, see ya. An officer will be like, you sure you don't want to go back down there? Put your mouthpiece in, bitch, get on there. Like they'll do that. So, not saying that they have any differentiation of standard. I'm just saying like, it's difficult, I'm sure, watching, someone quit, especially in second phase, literally right next to me. Just gets up out of the pool. I can't do this. Dude just made it through Hell Week. He's in pool. Like you're in warm water with some twin 80s on your back, and you're sharing you're doing some buddy breathing exercises, and that's too much for you. And it's like that will ruin it's over. It crushes you. So the water's the first thing I did. I got in, I swam, and I'm like, I'm out of fucking shape. This is fucking horrible. I'm like, how do I monk out here? How do I do this? And I'm like, I got to reset the life balance. I'm sitting there just
fast as possible.
Any chance I get, I can work out. Any chance I can get. Some dudes would go on leave because they're, right out of boot, you go to prep school and you're sitting there and you're working out. A lot of dudes would take some leave, or they would go be with their girlfriends or their wives and all that things. I was like, fuck that. No one was even at my graduation. I didn't want anyone there. That was literally my request to, and I regret that because, and again, it comes back to making your only priority success. And removing every distraction. I told my parents, I was like, I don't want anybody at my graduation. My dad was like, what's up, man? Like, I was like, Dad, I want you to go to my SEAL graduation.
Okay.
That's what I want you to do. Gives me chills again. We're getting a lot of chills on this, but it brings up, how intense and how committed that I was. So I didn't want my wife there. She was just, you still, technically we're dating, but I didn't want her there. I didn't want my parents there. I didn't want my friends there because to me, and I got to ask, hey, where's your, and I was like, this isn't the goal. The goal is to fucking achieve. And that's it. That's the standard. That's all I want to do. It was like, that's the only thing that mattered to me. And nothing else was going to distract me. Nothing else was going to be seen as a small achievement. Now, I'm not saying you don't take wins, especially during buds, but anyway, that's how deep it went. So I was out of shape. Had to recondition myself, and basically all you do for 3 months is eat a shit ton of food and work out 3 times a day. That's all you do. You're running in the morning, you're stretching, you're working out, vice versa, and then you're swimming. You're literally getting all the 3 elements you need. People are like, how do I train? That's how you train. You run, you swim, you lift. That's how you train. And you develop your mental toughness in the pool. Because 100%, and also running.
Water's going to test you real quick how tough you are.
100%, man. And also running's critical. Like you will be surprised when you go on like a 6 to 8 mile trail run, when you're alone with your thoughts and you start trying to, you starting to have a dialogue with your conscience and yourself or God or whatever it may be, and you'll be surprised. I mean, that's literally organically how this brand started. I was on a trail run and I was so pissed off because I just gave feedback to two brands that just basically just set it aside and was like, hey, your information isn't correct. They literally had like 2 or 3 interviews with me about the same fucking topic, and I told them the same thing, and they basically just kept coming back to me saying, tell us something else. I'm like, I don't need to tell you anything else. This is the fucking problem. Fix it. And I just got sick of it, so I did it myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's so you got prep school, and then from there you got to test out a prep, right? You got to complete. It's basically an exaggerated PST score. It's a little bit longer swim. You have to achieve your time.
Are there dudes that don't achieve that?
100%.
Really?
Yeah. And generally speaking, from my understanding, we had a couple guys that were just immature.
Okay.
They kept fucking around, and they kept getting. I'm sorry about the language.
It's wild chaos, right?
All right, got you, brother.
Yeah,
I got you.
That's a lead. You're good.
But yeah, like they would basically quit, and they wouldn't make it, right? Yep. But at the end of the day, you knew they were fit enough, but they just had other things they wanted to go do.
Wise,
They're just like, well, this isn't for me. It's not for me. So.
And then off the Hell Week you go.
No, and
what?
so no, and then you. The fuck? I know, and so then you pass that, and then you go into buds. Right, so you're going to basically indoc, right? Indoctrination.
Okay,
it's pre-buds.
Okay,
it's I can't remember the exact duration of that. I want to say it was 3 weeks or 4 weeks. I'd have to look back, but it's basically an introductory to buds. You start learning the cadence, and you're not in first phase yet. You're not actually working towards Hell Week. You're learning the cadence, and you basically. The culmination of I want to say it's 3 weeks. I'd have to correct myself. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But the point is
internet will correct you.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm sure, there's plenty of warriors out there that'll get me. Oh, well, so you're going through this, and the culmination of it is basically like an animal, they call it animal PT, and it's basically just an introduction to boats, logs, and you're doing some, stuff. But that's where my first injury actually occurred, was even before first phase, where I tore my labrum in half.
Doing what?
So buddy bear crawls basically. So buddy wheelbarrows up and over the berm. My buddy, my my swim buddy trips, falls, and my left shoulder goes pop pop pop, and I couldn't move it. I was like, oh shit, and I was like this, and I was like, oh fuck, and so I'm moving my fucking hand around with my other right arm, but super numb, couldn't feel a damn thing. Anyway, when I ended up getting processed out, like I was like, hey, you guys want to check out my shoulder? Check out my shoulder. It literally looked like a paper towel had been ripped in half. 180-degree labrum tear, completely torn. I was like, holy shit. Like, okay.
And you didn't even get washed out for
Fuck
that.
No, I didn't tell him I was hurt. Because if you tell him you're hurt, you're gonna get
Med dropped, yeah.
Med dropped, you're gone. So then you go into first phase. That's when first phase happens, and then you work towards Hell Week. I believe Hell Week starts on week 5.
What the hell's first phase?
What is first phase?
Yeah.
Oh,
I had no idea that there was so many
iterations,
steps to get to buds or to Hell Week.
So my understanding and my absorption of Hell Week is basically everything you do in those first 3 weeks leading up to Hell Week compressed into a week. So you got so you got stuff like your timed swims, your 4 mile timed run on the soft sand. You got drown proofing is like, I think it's the first day, right? That's when they tie your hands. You got your underwater, 50 meter down and back travel underwater. You got that going on. Tons of dudes blacked out during that. It's so funny. They just basically pull you out and slap the shit out of you and wake you up.
Are you done at that point?
What's that?
Are you done? Do they?
No, if you touch the end, you pass. A lot of them will touch it and then they black out. And then they'll pull them out of the water, slap them, tell them to get the fucking line. And that's literally, that's what happens. It happens all the time. I mean, it's tough. You got to jump in, do a front flip. You can't kick off the end, swim down to the, 25 meter, kick off, come back. So 50 meters full. And, people black out. That's just how it works.
That's how I'm going out.
That's it.
At that point, I am going out.
You see these limp fish just getting thrown out fucking water by these shark instructors, and
my God.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, nobody got hurt, but people have died, right? I mean, in training, it does happen, unfortunately.
Sure.
Yeah.
I heard a thing a while back that they give you like this little pill to swallow.
That's during Hell Week. Yeah, so
That's real?
that's an internal thermoregulation pill. So they will give you basically a pill, and sometimes you'll shit it out, right? But they'll give it to you, and we can get into this, right? So they basically give it to you Sunday, and they make you take it, and it basically gives you reads your core temperature. And so when they're giving you surf torture and shit, they know if you're hypothermic and all that other stuff.
Is this something that they got to come up and like touch you with like a thing?
No,
or is
it's all within a radius. They can. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So they don't have to touch
So they're
you.
just monitoring everybody right there.
Yeah.
So that dude can just not even be saying anything, and they can just pluck him out if his body core temps get too low.
Think about some asshole that's pretending like he's hyping out. The instructor is going to fucking call you out. It's a mind game. Everything's a fucking mind game.
Oh my! I never thought of that.
Oh yeah, you definitely. I mean that's
so these
what
dudes
it
are
is.
just trying to get dropped without quitting, and then
or they're trying to elicit some sort of emotional response from an instructor. Trying to do that, perhaps. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I don't know why people do stuff. I'm not claiming that. I'm just simply saying, if I was an instructor, that's what I would fucking observe. I'd be like, this guy looks like he's hyping out, but his internal body temperature says otherwise, right? So,
damn.
Yeah. So anyway, that's basically what you do to get into Hell Week, and then basically.
So now we're in Hell Week.
Yeah, now we're in Hell Week.
Good Lord, man! I had no idea there was that much. Okay, so now we're officially in Hell Week.
Yeah.
You got a torn labrum.
Yep. Oh wait. So before we get into Hell Week, so you're gonna want this story because for the record, right? I definitely want to clarify this because I think it's important for me. And the people that know me, right? Yeah. If you don't know me and you got opinions, like cool, whatever. But a few days before Hell Week started, we were at the O course doing a log exercise, and I had sent you a couple pictures, I think, during my submission process. But it's logs, right? So you're chest carrying, you're doing lunges, and you a boat crew full of 7 dudes, and that's who you got. And the next thing we do is we're chest carrying down what we call demo pit road. It's basically this soft sand, fucked up road. It's just soft sand.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's super deep, super soft. It's absolutely terrible. And we're just going down to demo pit, which is where towards the culmination of Hell Week happens. And I don't want to say too much because I don't know, I don't want to expose too much, but you're going down that road, and by the time we were done with that log PT, three of my classmates had quit. Right, so we're down 3 dudes. We're carrying a fucking log. There's 4 of us, and we are so tired, and we are so far behind everyone else. Everything's a race. And when you're behind, you get your ass beat. Like that's just what happens. The most unusual thing, we were so far behind everybody, we didn't get our ass beat once. Not once. I don't know if it was because they could see that we were fucking putting out still. But we were so far behind because fucking the dudes quit, so almost we're doing it half power, basically. Sure. But we're basically we're going up and down, and my body's just wrenching like this for miles. We turn around and we come back. We finish the evolution. I'm in excruciating pain. I don't know what's going on. We put the log down, and I couldn't stand up. I was literally like this. I'm like, I can't breathe, and I'm like pushing myself up. Come to find out, I had herniated my L5 and L4. And so now I have spinal stenosis, radiculopathy, nerve recompression. That's important because it's important for me because number one, it's the most painful thing I've ever experienced, ever to this day. And it's also just clarification for people that know me where, there's times where, and this is like the repercussions, right? Like the aftermath of this where I go in like a bull and I just want to, just accomplish the mission. But, like there's times where the last time my back went out, like my daughter's in the car, I couldn't get out. I was literally all fours, and my neighbor had to come out and take my daughter, and I had to crawl into my bed and lay there. And I'm basically there with painkillers for a couple of days. Yep. And I get surgery, all that stuff. But so that had happened. So I ended up herniating both discs. The basically 3 days before Hell Week starts, 2 days before Hell Week starts. Oh my God. I get and I got chits for all this, right? So if anybody wants to see receipts, I got them. I don't really care. Yeah. But it's important, right? Because people are gonna come at you and say stupid shit. But at the end of the day, so we started Hell Week. And I'm a young man. I'm recovering, right? Doing my thing, and my back's feeling fine. It throws out again at what we call the beach gate, and this was at Tuesday morning. And so we can stop here if we want to. We can revisit that earlier, but yeah, my back went out at Tuesday morning around 1 or 2 in the morning. I mean, I don't know the exact times. You don't have watches during Hell Week, yeah, because they don't want you to fucking know anything. They want you to think that it's endless, and it feels endless. But this is Tuesday morning, and my back goes out. They throw me in the med bay, and you basically... Now, I don't know what the exact statistic is, but my understanding is you have exactly, I want to say 60 minutes total in Hell Week that you can spend in med. And if you go past that, you're done. Like
60
they told you.
60 minutes?
60 minutes. But it could be less. It feels like it should be less. But anyway, I was pretty delirious at this point. It was Tuesday, but I got thrown in med bay, and they're like, oh, he's just having back spasms, right? Throw him back. And that's cool. Like, I got a chip for that. Like, I got it all. I got all the documentation. Yeah. But anyway, so we can get into that. But I'm just saying, like, those were the first two instances of where my back fucked up. Yep. And I knew exactly what happened. It was because of the log PT and the chest carry, but I completed the fucking evolution, and I made it the next day, and I got into Hell Week. And then Hell Week starts on Sunday, late at night. And we can stop there if you have any questions, but
I got a million questions. But yeah. Okay. So do they start you in the middle of the night? Like, how's it start?
Just depends. I mean, technically, it's all a game, right?
For sure.
So they put you basically in a giant room. I want to say somewhere around noon. You get there at 1200, and they basically put you in. That's when they start briefing you. They give you the thermal pill I was talking about to monitor and regulate your internal core temperature, and you're basically sitting in that room until shit goes down. So you're sitting there for hours, just waiting for shit to happen.
Okay.
And it's at that point towards as it gets closer to the evening, and we had a very unique breakout, which is when it all starts. They put us in the barracks, and apparently there was which I don't know the full details because I didn't investigate this. I just heard about it from other people, and it was so unusual. We had a silent breakout. They couldn't use any percussion, any gunfire, nothing, because there was some sound ordinance in Coronado that night of all nights, and the instructors are trying to figure it out. So we got stuck in the barracks. Like, breakout was supposed to happen like hours before it did. And we're all looking around going, what the fuck?
Like, what are we doing?
The oddest sound was hearing doors slam, because you knew people were quitting, because they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Dudes are...
Yeah, dude.
Wait. So these dudes are like going to be a Navy SEAL. They go through all these little prereqs. They make it into Hell Week. The night it starts, they're just quitting before it even...
Because think about it, like, you know what's coming.
Bro, I would feel like the biggest bitch on the planet.
I would say the most people quit is when you're sleeping. You wake up and your bunkmate won't be there anymore. They're just gone. And you're like, where did they go? They quit in the middle of the night.
Really? Where do you go?
Well, think about it. Like, if you want to exit, like, you don't want an audience. You don't want to exit. And like, many people will say, like, hey, what's the hardest thing about buds? I know you're going to ask me that at some point. So the log the surf torture, the logs, the boats, what is it? The hardest thing by far was seeing my best friend quit 3 helmets. I think he was the 3rd helmet from the end during Hell Week. So if he would have just held out 3 more people, he would have made it. And it was actually right before my back went out. I was at a very low place when my back went out at the beach gate on Tuesday morning. It was maybe 15, 20 minutes before my back went out that I'm under the boat, and my boat, somebody in my boat crew is like, hey, Rullie. I'm like, what? And he was like, dude, your boy just quit. I was like, what? And I look over and I just see a shadowy figure in the bell ring, and I'm like, fuck. I was just like,
and what does that do to morale? Especially because, I mean, I don't know how tight you are with your
extremely. How is it with your boat crew or with like, you as an individual?
As an individual, I mean, because everything that going through Hell Week is created to make you quit physically, mentally. They're draining you on everything.
Yeah.
So when you're seeing these dudes, especially if you're calling this dude a buddy, and you see him ring the bell, I mean, what does that do to your morale?
My best friend, it was hard. It was really hard, and it was challenging because, it's your boy.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I don't care how good your power of observation is. You could see, like I said, my swim buddy, you'll never know who makes it. You'll never know. Like, you'll look around and you'll try to evaluate people's character.
I've heard this before.
And there's no fucking way you can guess.
Yeah, I got buddies that are SEALs, and they were like, dude, when they went through, they would say like this out of shape country hillbilly, like he ain't lasting a day. And they're like strongest dude mentally in the whole entire, like outperformed everybody. Then you got these guys that are showing up like
Shredded out of their mind.
gods, and they're done the first day. It's all mental. I mean, obviously, I'm not speaking for you guys, but
no. Well, first of all, it's not us guys. I'm not a SEAL.
Oh yeah. But I'm just talking. I've never been through buds or any of this shit. I'm just talking in general. The guy's been through there
for sure. No, but you would never be able to know, right? But yeah, you become very close, and I mean, naturally, right? Naturally, you're going down a very difficult path and a life-changing event, and you're going to gravitate towards certain personalities and certain people, and we're still good friends this day, right? He's a great human being. He's a firefighter now. He's serving his country, serving his city.
Yep.
Like, and I'll just say that too. Like, if you do quit, right? If it doesn't work out, because I'm in the boat, right? That I'm in the group that didn't make it, right? I never quit, ever. But at the end of the day, I washed out because I couldn't complete land navigation. I have a fucked up back, shoulder, and we can talk about that too. But regardless, if you do quit, if it isn't for you, that's not the end of the road. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean you're fucking weak. Like, go contribute. Go do what called you into the pipeline in the first place, which was service, and go push that. Go push that power and that effort towards something good, because most likely they're good people. So yeah, it was very challenging. That's definitely the hardest part, was seeing my best friend quit, but it definitely crushes morale. Now, it is a double-edged sword, because I will also say, I attacked buds. I attacked Hell Week, with anger. Like, some people were like, "What got you through?" And it was me being pissed off. Okay. Literally, I would literally be at the O course, and these. Well, that's like one of the most daunting things, because you're just waiting for these giant blue trucks, these F-250s, F-350s to pull up. They're full of instructors. They're going to beat the shit out of you, and it's coming. And you just see people just pissed off or just upset, and they're like, "Oh shit," just like waiting, nervous. And I would start to get mad. And it's like that. I don't know. I just wanted to fight. I'm not saying I directed that instructor ever. I would never recommend that. Yeah. And it was never like that. It was, to me, it was like, you're going to have to kill me. Like, you can do anything you want. You're going to have to kill me. Period. There's just no, like, that's the only mindset going into that sort of course in job field is, at least for like the kind of the idiot that I am with everything, I'm like, I'm going to die trying this. Yes, 100%.
And if I don't, then I'm never speaking of it again, because something happened, or I got hurt, just physically could not finish. But yeah, any courses that I've had to go through, I'm like, I'm not quitting. Like, fuck you.
No, it's like, that's the mindset, right? And it's like, well, what did you learn, most about buds? And it's like, it's less about what I learned about myself, and it's more about what I confirmed about myself. Like, I knew that you'd have to fucking kill me. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get me to quit.
I like that. I like the word.
Well, I mean, those perspectives, I think, organically just come from the experience, right? So I appreciate that. And it's truly how I feel. And that's how I arrived at kind of that mantra was, it was never like, and that's some advice I guess I would give too, right? If you're trying to look to go through one of these pipelines, and the big crux of it is Hell Week, right? Naturally, right? Tons of people wash out. Like, you get a very, very small percentage after Hell Week, like even less after pool comp. Like, you're basic, they have a. I'm not even going to say it. I don't even want to say it, but
it has a say.
There are sayings, right? When you finish pool comp, but there is a
saying.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because I don't want to. There's certain things that I guess should stay in the that
I get
community.
I get it.
The point is very small percentage wash out after pool comp, but yeah, it's like, if you're going into something like this where you're like, hey, I want to go see if I can do this. I want to see what I'm made of. Like, I think I can do this, and man, I just need to be pushed. You should choose something else.
Yeah.
But if you're one of those people who are like, fuck this, you're gonna have to kill me. Like, I don't care what you do to me. I don't. And this is the thing too, is like, you might think like those instructors hate you, but think about it from their perspective. And I don't know if this is necessarily true, right? I don't have any confirmation of this. No one's ever said this to me. It's just my observation of kind of putting myself, as much as I can in their shoes from an instructor's perspective. This is an evaluation of people who are going to be fighting next to you
in a very small, tight unit.
Right. So with that in mind, you have to think like, it is their absolute responsibility to wash out as many people as possible, not because they don't like you. It's not because they think you're an asshole or that you suck, which they might for some people. And we had certainly plenty of those people that had bullseyes on their back because they claimed to be a SEAL before they got in, or they were showing tridents on their social media or some stupid shit like that.
Oh, God.
But yeah, like, I don't think that any of those instructors have any malice towards you. I think it's just their job to filter and make sure that the person fighting next to them is the most qualified individual.
I think that's a completely standard way to look at it.
Reasonable.
Because you guys aren't a line unit. You're not a grunt where you got 50 dudes and you got everybody to rely on. Someone's going to pick the torch and keep running with the flag. Like, you're 2, 3, 4, 6 guys.
That's it.
In certain scenarios, it might just be you and another buddy sitting on Overwatch and watching something. For you got to trust the dude. He's got your back.
100%.
I get it. I wouldn't want some half-ass guys rolling through, because I've gone through courses before. I'm like, how the fuck is this dude making it? Like, this guy. When I went to Afghan, there was guys that when I was contracting over there was guys in our course.
Wow.
A lot of law enforcement guys that had never been in a military setting before, and we were like, what the fuck, like, dude. And I'm like taking notes, like, nope. I'm like, this, and they would make it through. I'm like, oh, so like the whole entire time I'm like picking, like, okay, that's a Marine, he's a grunt, there's a corpsman, there's another Marine, and I just built my own. I built my own team with just Marines and a corpsman, and then like I felt good leaving the wire, especially if we're just in like a Land Cruiser driving around. I don't want some cop from Nebraska. No offense for a cop from Nebraska, but the dude's never done anything in his life, and like he's flagged me 4 times on the range, and I'm like, I get it. Like, I'm not trying to compare myself to any team, but yeah, it's like when your life depends on other dudes,
100%.
And you don't have a platoon of them having your back. I get it.
Yeah. So I would just say that, right?
Sure.
It's the best intentions, right? It's to qualify the most qualified, but yeah. So, and then, Hell Week continues and we go from there, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was it like getting the word that you were getting dropped out of Buds?
Oh, well, it was kind of quite a long process, right?
Was it?
Well, because I finished Hell Week.
Yep.
We do that, and we go to second phase, and we,
just pool.
Yeah, it's pool. Yeah.
I would like to touch on pool because
yeah, that's. I mean, people think Hell Week's mental. I mean, try being underwater for 20 minutes and have an instructor that
fighting you,
tie the shit out of your 2080 lines, and pull your regulator out and beat the shit out of you underwater for 20 minutes, and you got to perform the exact functions of the operations over and over again until you can fix it and ascent, FSA, free swimmer ascent to the top, and say you're okay.
I don't think the average American or the average listener realizes how quick you find Jesus in a pool, because
for sure.
I grew up upstate New York on the Sailor. I consider myself a very strong swimmer.
Yeah.
And so when I was in the Marine Corps, even my first introduction to like military swimming at Marine Corps boot camp, I thought was the funniest thing in the world, because that's why I didn't know like there was a difference between dark Marines can't swim. And I didn't know. Like, if there was like, our drill instructor made this joke out of it because he's this short little black guy, and he's like making this whole ordeal out of him. I'm looking at my buddy. I'm like, what is he talking about? And my rack mate was like, yo, black people can't swim. And I'm like, what? And then I figured it out at the pool the next day. So then I go through I just blow through the phases, like, and they're the last phase or fuck with it. I thought it was all hilarious. It was nothing for me. Then when I got to the fleet, I ended up going through, what the hell do we call the swim program? McQuiz? Might be McQuiz. Somebody will fact check that. So I got selected for that, and it was supposed to be one of the hardest schools in the Marine Corps to go through. And I go through this, and it sucked, but because
nothing you can't handle, right? Nothing you weren't conditioned for.
But it was rough. Like, I'm talking, you just want a breath so bad, and you're just getting a sip of air in before you're getting sucked back under. And you're fighting. You're trying to put your goggles back. I mean, so you will find Jesus very quick in the water. And I can't even imagine the level where you guys are starting at. Like, probably our top tier hardest phase of that course is probably the entry level for butts.
Well, what's wild is you basically get your open and your closed circuit certifications
for breathing apparatus, right?
So your open circuit is like your twin 80s, right? Those are the natural things for listeners. Is that's going to be your cylinder on your back, right? It's got your compressed air. You're breathing the air in, and you're blowing it out the regulator, and the bubbles go away, right? A rebreather, right? The Dregger, I think it was the LR5, but that's the chest rig, right? And it's got little things that look like Dippin' Dots in it. It's called soda sorb. Basically, you're exhaling and it's scrubbing out all the nasty stuff, and it's just pure oxygen. And you got a little pure oxygen tank right there, and you'll just hear a little. But the point of that is you don't express any bubbles, right? Because it's completely clandestine. So that's a rebreather. You're rebreathing the.
How long does that last?
The rebreather, it depends on depth, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I would have to look back. I mean, it's been over 10 years since I've done it.
But I mean, you get 10, 15 minutes at kind of a few feet, or is it?
Oh, no. I want to say you get. I want to say you get like 90 to 120 minutes at less than if you're between 0 and 20 feet.
Oh.
Because that's the thing. If you go below 20 feet, I believe it's 20 feet, it's considered an excursion because then you're using more oxygen and
pressure and everything.
Yeah, and so you're basically just skimming under the water the entire time, and that was like truly super super fun, right? Like we're diving in the middle of the night, like learning with these rebreathers. Like this is after pool comp, which pool comp's the one where, and I don't think it gets a lot of light, right? Like Hell Week is like the big thing. Like if you can just get through that, and it's the fun stuff, right? It's like, everybody wants to talk about that, but again, like even in pool comp, like I had an officer quit, and he just couldn't do it. And that's not even the test. You're not even in your OC, 1 through 8, like open circuit, right? And you're not doing any of the competency stuff. We're just doing buddy breathing, right? So
what's buddy breathing?
Buddy breathing is basically like, you're going under the water, and one guy is attached to your rig, and you're sharing a regulator. So you're taking a breath and you're letting your buddy breathe on it while you're working, and then when you need one, you just 2 taps on the regulator. You slowly take the regulator, and then you get a breath, and you just kind of repeat.
Was there ever a time where you were like you're running out?
So what's really funny is that reminds me, I actually got certified in high school.
Okay.
And to get certification, you always have a dive buddy.
Yeah.
You always, even in the civilian world. Yeah. So, I'm in high school and we're diving, and this is in Washington State, so it's fucking freezing. Absolutely fucking freezing. So, but I'm young and I don't even care, right? So, I'm down there with this lady, and we're swimming, we're doing our thing, we're scuba diving around. My rebreather starts free flowing. And if you don't know what free flowing is, basically your regulator gets lodged open and it's just expressing all of my fucking air. And so it's going. I hear noises. I'm under the water and it is muffled, like whatever. I'm just chill. I look over this swim buddy, this lady. I was in high school. She was probably, if I had to guess, she's probably in her late 30s. She's freaking the fuck out. and I'm like, I'm the fucking one with no air.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing freaking out?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think I was 16 at the time, 17 at the time. I'm just like, okay. I'm looking at her. I'm like, and I'm just like, calm the fuck down. And I throw my regulator and I'm holding my breath. And I just reach over slowly. And on these rigs, you have a secondary.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it's okay. I'm just going to reach over. I'm just going to grab that secondary. It's okay. I put it in my mouth and I start breathing and I go, let's go to the fucking surface. We get to the surface and my dive master was behind us the entire time. Now, people were like, why didn't he interject? And it's the same reason you don't interject. You don't go and when someone's drowning, go immediately up to them because they will grab you and you will both drown.
For sure.
Actually, the most effective way is to dive under the water, grab the person's legs, spin them the direction you want, climb up them, and then you reach over them and then you rescue them, right? Because they'll drown you.
Oh, 100 every time.
Every single time.
Every time.
So, he looks at me and goes, you pass. You're getting your certification today. I think you had to do 4 dives. I got my certification, my first dive. He's like, you're qualified. You're certified. Obviously, I did the rest of the dives.
Yeah.
But so, it's a really funny story that translated later in life because, you're doing ditch and dons and stuff like that where you're under the water and you're you're basically ditching your gear and you're sharing oxygen with your buddy, and you're doing all these and then you'll do like your night dive where your mask is blacked out and all this other stuff. And those are all leading up to, pool comp, where you have your 20 minutes, you jump in and they basically fuck with your lines in your regulator. They tie it in knots and do all this other shit. And you have to ditch your rig and then undo the knots and you put it back on, and then they'll keep fucking with you for 20 minutes until they give you you give you a knot you can't undo. But you have to go through all of the functions, right?
20 minutes under the water,
yes.
just kidding.
Yes.
How exhausted are you at this point? I don't care how.
Honestly, it's just a fucking fight, dude. Like I wrestled a lot. I mean, not that really makes a lot of difference in this situation because you're under the water. But the funny thing is you're calm. You're calm, right?
Have to be.
Because if your heart's racing, like you're fucked. There's just no way. You just can't hold your breath.
Yeah.
Right. You're undoing knots. And on top of this, you're going through every single iteration that you have to do everything proper, everything perfect. Check your check the air, make sure it's on all the way, quarter turn back, check your regulator, bring it in your mouth, check your straps, make sure you got a 3 foot loop or a three finger loop there, 3-finger loop there. Your dive belt's good to go. I mean, you're going through all of these functions that you have to do. And if you fuck up one of them, you fail.
Are your instructors, are they just immediately worst case scenario, or do they like come in and they're turning your air off first, and then
Correct.
Are they walking? So in that 20 minutes, I mean, they're not just coming in, ripping mask, ripping.
Oh no, they are. Yeah. So so right in the beginning, you basically are standing on the pool's edge, check right, check left, check forward, jump in, right? Fair in the water, get in the water, you go to the bottom, and you're basically crawling around on the bottom like this.
Okay. Are you blindfolded?
No, you have your mask on.
Okay.
I believe it's blacked out. Your mask is blacked out though.
So you're blindfolded.
So you can't see shit.
Yeah.
You got your mask on. But you have to crawl around basically on your knees, hands and knees, and you're just going back and forth. And sometimes as soon as you're in the water, I'm assuming that's when the time starts. But the instructors will just fuck with you, right? Because you just know that they're just sitting there just swimming just above you, and they're just gonna come down. They're basically just gonna fuck you up. Like they're gonna I don't want to say too much, right? But let's just say yard sale, right? Like your shit's going everywhere, water's going everywhere. You might get an elbow, you might, whatever. Like shit's happening. You're underwater. So that's basically how it starts. Is basically it just turns into like this tight, spin cycle. You're just getting rolled and just maybe your head gets slammed in the ground, maybe not, the bottom of the pool deck. I don't know, all sorts of shit, weird shit happens, but
40 minutes of that, huh?
Well, that's how it starts, right? And then it goes into the technical. I mean, you're always getting attacked, right? But ripping off your regulator, fucking with your air, tying one side in a knot, tying the other in a knot, shoving shit up the back, fucking with your straps, like, and you have to fix all the problems under the water without air. Find your air, put it in your mouth and breathe, and then rinse and repeat. I will say, like I said, may have said it earlier, the proudest moment was calling my dad right after Hell Week, saying, like I told you, like that was by far, like that'll carry me the rest of my life. But finishing pool comp almost felt more of an accomplishment because it was the unknown. Like I knew about Hell Week. I knew that it was going to suck. I knew that I was going to, just go in and fight, and someone was going to have to kill me to get me out of there. And sure enough, I made it through, and that was fantastic. But pool comp is one of those unknowns where they don't talk about it very much. How are you going to get training on it? I mean, you might get training on it now because there's all these feeder pipelines, which are absolutely, how spoiled are the kids now? I mean, it's just
what's a feeder pipeline?
So like the Warrior Calling, like out in San Diego, where they're learning,
training. They're doing legit training.
They're getting a little bit of surf torture. They're getting they're getting some of the fabric of the training that you're going to encounter. So that muscle and that mental memory, right? I'm assuming that's really a good emphasis on it. I don't know a ton about them, but because I hope to learn more, right? I hope that the brand actually gets interjected with some of those groups because we'd love to support them. We're doing a lot of great things with like Navy SEAL Foundation and a few others. But the point is super spoiled, right? Super fucking spoiled. I was going to a pool and I was watching like Stu Smith and all these fucked up YouTube shit videos of like trying to learn how to do shit and, on my own in San Diego. And now here you are, you got all these things where you
prep schools for it.
prep schools, feeder pipelines, all these amazing things, which is absolutely phenomenal, right? Get a mentor, get training. If you have the ability, the resources, if you know somebody's going through it or have gone through it, go do it. Go become best friends with them. Take a mentor. But yeah, I felt that completing pool comp was almost more of an accomplishment than Hell Week, because it was something that was extremely challenging, that was still washing people out.
For sure.
And it's fucking hard, right? Pool comp is no fucking joke. And I actually got this sleeve tattoo the day I finished pool comp. I fell asleep in the chair. I'm not fucking kidding. John Seiben, amazing tattoo artist out in San Diego. I don't know if he's still out there. Dude's a beast. And it's so funny, he grew up in Tacoma next to me. He's laughing his ass off. He's like, because I woke up, I was like, holy shit. He's like, bro, I've never seen anyone fall asleep in the chair. I fucking passed out while he did my whole fucking outline, which is, I mean, there's a lot of ink.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I passed out on the fucking chair. I was so tired.
I bet.
But again, the commitment. I scheduled my tattoo for the day that I knew I was going to pass pool comp. Like that was just my fucking mentality. I was like, I'm going to fucking schedule something that's going to be permanent. And I almost got my ass beat for it, because I came in on Saturday and Sunday over the weekend to help the guys that didn't make it. Because on Monday you get one last try to pass to OCA. You get 2 more attempts on Monday. You get 2 on Friday. If you don't pass that, you get 2 more on Monday. If you don't pass that, you're gone.
Oh god.
So if you're a good dude, you come in on the weekends and you help people where you can.
Well, I'm sure your instructors and everybody's watching.
Yeah, and they also saw me come in with new ink.
I was going to say, that probably wasn't the smartest decision.
It wasn't. No, it was a fucking horrible idea.
Especially if you have an open wound, you're in the sand, and just MRSA and everything else that's in those barracks. And yeah, it probably was not.
I told you I was a young man. I was basically a fucking ape. So I don't give a shit.
Been there, yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck that. Like, and that's what this whole tattoo is about, is basically just like, God's favor the strong, like, all sorts of shit in there. But yeah, I came in.
Makes you feel better. I got a huge portion of my back done the night before we went to a gas chamber just to get out.
Oh, very good.
I was like, I don't want to do this gas chamber. I'm just gonna get blasted anyways. And I show up and they're like, we don't give a shit.
You're like, fuck, that didn't play out the way I thought. no. And naturally, right? Naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally. Zero fucks given.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Typical Marine.
Continue.
Yeah. Congratulations, get in line. I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
I knew the chances were slim, but I shot my shot.
So before we move into like third phase, right? I will say one of the worst beatdowns that I got in buds was in second phase. So you are learning, right? You are learning all the dynamics, the pool dynamics and stuff like that. We are in this classroom, right? And we are taking apart our rig, taking it like the dragger, like doing all the things, learning all the things. And we're wet and sandy. We're fucking wet and sandy. And they made us do backs, bellies, and feets. And if you don't know what backs, bellies, and feet is, they go backs. We're in a classroom with chairs and shit and tables. We're wet. We're sandy. They backs. You have to jump on your back. Bellies, you have to move to your belly. Feet, you have to get on your feet.
Yeah.
Backs, bellies, feet. There's backs, bellies, feet, just fucking forever.
In a mic.
Just beating the shit out of us. Push-ups, all sorts of fucking terrible shit. We sweat so bad. All the steam's going to the ceiling. It rained inside. It was fucking raining. And I was like, holy shit, it's raining inside. It was wild. That's how bad they beat us. That's how wet we were, too. It was a wild story.
And the sand just starts wearing on your elbows, your knees.
I mean, you're fucking chafed everywhere. I still have scars on the inside of my legs from Hell Week. I mean, you finish Hell Week, it's basically, open wounds. You smells like the fucking smell in the barracks. It just smells like flesh. It's fucking disgusting. I'm not kidding, dude. It is nasty. It is fucking nasty.
People are just like pieced together. And
dude, I mean, everything's open wounds. You got fucking bumps and fucking shit everywhere. I'm sure there's some sort of disease running around in me from that, but absolutely nasty. But yeah, so that was a pretty bad beatdown.
Did you do any offshore swimming?
Like out in the ocean?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah.
Did you do any at night?
You do that every week. Oh, yeah.
What? Okay. Legit question.
Yeah, sure.
Were you ever just terrified?
No, but I will say there was one time where I was like, because look, so this story is pretty funny. So we're doing our dragger dive. So after you pass the pool comp, you start doing, your practice draggering in the middle of the night and shit. And we're out there. They just come out to a boat, and then they're making sure that you know how to navigate straight, right, and skirt the, they call it skirting the shore, and you're basically just like 10 or 15 yards off basically where you come out of the water, because you remember you're draggers, so you can't go super deep. You have to stay within like basically 20 feet, 20, 30 feet. So you're just skirting the shore. But anyway, we're out there, we're diving around, me and my swim buddy, and all of us, I mean, you can't see fucking shit. Like, you have a dive line between like me and you, right? And you have a tack board, and a tack board's like your navigation board, and you have a chem light that you snap, you open up, so you can kind of see the coordinates, you can see the direction, right?
You have a compass, or you got a watcher?
It's basically on the board.
Oh, okay.
So there's a compass, there's you
can't lose it and all that.
Well, yeah, it's all right there. But you also have a line attached to your buddy. I would not be able to fucking see you right now.
Yeah.
Right? However, we're swimming and we stop, we're checking coordinates. All of a sudden we feel this whoosh. And I'm like, what the fuck? So you accept you're in the middle of the fucking ocean, in the middle of the fucking night. No. There's, whatever. No. And, again, whoosh. And I just remember looking over, and I just see this, I couldn't see you, but I see this, it's just a slightly more black fucking wall just go like this by me, and I just look at my dive buddy, and I just kind of get close, and I'm just like, you see that shit? And he's like, no. I was like, you feel it? And he's like, and I'm like, fuck it, and we just kept going, right? That was an interesting moment, because at that point, you just kind of accept, like, I'm sure you can relate, right? When you're hunting, like, there's things that will want to kill you, right? If you're not smart.
But here's the thing, man. I'm on land. I feel like
at least you got a gun, right?
a gun, or I could try to juke something. Like, I feel on land, I have a chance.
You're vulnerable as fuck in the water. There's nothing you're doing. Like,
that's why I ask, man. Yeah. That would probably be the hardest thing for me, honestly. Out of anything, would be, I would just be like just
floundering around, yeah.
And especially you're right on shore, so you look like a sea lion just cruising up and down the shore. And we are talking San Diego, so it's not like you don't have great whites.
There's creatures there
cruising everywhere.
There's plenty of creatures. Yeah, so that was an interesting moment. But yeah, that I would say just that wave momentum that just pushed me, and I was like, well, fuck. All right then.
And it came back around.
Yeah, because I looked and I just see this black wall, and I'm just like, what is whatever, man, like, fuck it. You're, again, just a stupid ape, and apparently one that can swim.
That gives me anxiety. Yeah. I have a Marsoc buddy that he came on, and he was doing a swim. They're out on the East Coast, and they were doing a night swim, but they had like packs where they're on the top of the water.
Sure. Dry bags.
And he got hammered by something. Yeah. Just smoked him in the ribs. He like looks around. He thought it was his swim buddy.
Oh shit!
Like, ran into him. He's like, "Yo, like, what are you doing?" And he looks up at his chem light, and his buddy's like 20 yards from him, and he was like, just kept going. So that's where the mental battle for me would end. If anything touches me in the water, out in the ocean, done.
Yeah.
Nope, not out of my element.
Well, I'm not going to say it touched me, because it didn't, but I definitely had gotten pushed by the wave. Yeah, it was pretty wild.
That's why I had.
It had to be something big, because I mean, literally just feeling that push was. I mean, that's a lot of force with a lot of volume. Just, I mean, you're in the middle of the ocean, right? That volume has somewhere to go, but apparently it went towards me, so it must have been closer, larger, both.
That gives me anxiety.
Yeah. So that was an interesting thing. But yeah, so then we get into third phase. And again, your question about open ocean swimming, right? You're doing your open ocean swimming. Well, in third phase, traditionally they would, swim at the island, right? It's a 5.5 nautical mile swim.
Gross.
So fucking forever.
Gross.
I mean, we're stuffing Snickers in our wetsuits and eating them and shit when we're eating, like, swimming. It's unreal.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Those are the little tricks and shit you guys are doing?
You stuff all sorts of food down your wetsuit, and you're just crushing food the whole time. Even like, even when you know that you're doing stuff on land, like, we'll bury caches of fucking food, like, all over the beach, and we'll know where it is, and you'll just crush food. Yeah, there's no amount of calorie that'll satisfy what you're burning in buds.
Oh, like, I couldn't imagine.
No fucking amount. I mean, you just eat for days. You just eat piles of food, and some people are like, don't you get sick? And you're like, no, dude, you just can't get enough fucking food. just can't get enough food. You could just eat the whole time if you could.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the calories that you're burning just from shivering.
Oh God,
you couldn't even replenish that amount of calories.
And what people won't tell you too is like, you think first phase is fucking cold, second phase is fucking cold. You're fucking freezing, and because you're in the fucking ocean all the time, just the entire time, you're just freezing, and they don't give a fuck. You're just in the ocean, and when you get out, you're just gonna get wet anyway, you know. So, yeah, that's good stuff. But yeah, so we did our 5.5 nautical mile ocean open swim, completed that, then we went to the land nav. You know, I've never, besides my best friend and very close people, I've never really, talked about this, but that's where my back basically threw out. So
in the water, and you're doing first, or second phase, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are you feeling like your back tweaked at all? Is it really messing with you, or are you just back up and running?
No, man. Like, I'm young. I don't know if that's what the deal was. I mean, over time, it definitely is degraded. Like, it's like, I don't deadlift, more than 305 is all I do. Like, period. Bench, deadlift, whatever. Like, that's I'm such an intentional person. I work out in my garage, and I literally have 305 pounds. I don't have any more, because I know if I go above that, pride, bullshit like that, I'm gonna fuck my back up. So no, I mean, at this point, like, very rarely it would give me any problems, but when it threw out, like, it fucked my shit up. But I was young, right? I don't really, again, don't know the attributes, and obviously I have all the chits and all this stuff, and it's important to say that. But yeah, third phase, land navigation, you go to Mount Laguna, and everybody's like, Southern California, baby, it's just nice and warm. It's just nice and fucking warm. It's like, go to Mount Laguna in the fall or the winter. You tell me it's nice and fucking warm. Please do. Yeah, no, it's fucking freezing.
Well, they don't realize also the high desert and how the sway of temperatures and.
I mean, it snows like crazy out there. Yeah. I mean, so there's a reason why they go there, right? It's challenging terrain. It's fantastic. I never grew up with any land navigation skills, so I actually really, really enjoyed like learning how to navigate. And doing the classwork, because I wanted to be educated. And that's kind of funny too to talk about, because this whole time you're basically getting your ass beat. But then you finish Hell Week and you start learning intelligent things: diving, logistics, underwater navigation, land navigation, things and components where you're actually being educated, right? You're being equipped to do the job. And you're learning all these components that are going to be exponentiated when you go into SQT, which is SEAL qualification training. Okay. That's what you go into after BUDS. I don't know how long it is, but I believe it's 18 months after BUDS. So basically the total pipeline BUDS to that is 2 years. But that's when you maximize those elements that you learn early on in BUDS. Yep. And then you expand out and you become better. So I was really excited about land navigation, and I did very, very well. We had initially we had the training session, then you have a practice day, and then you go do the testing, and you have 2 days of testing. And I ended up failing the first day, which sucked, right? I was like, fuck, I got to do this on Friday. Do it on Friday. My back throws out, and I am so fucked up. And I'm just basically saying to myself, what am I going to do? And I'm trying to move. And when your back
throw out, what were you doing?
Well, it's just as it does today. It just fucking seizes up, and I'm on the ground, and I'm like, fuck, what do I do? Anyway, I'm able to, I fail, right? I failed the course. End of story, right? I'll take ownership. Like, I could have passed it the first day and I didn't, right? I could have done it. I was felt, and I think that really what it came down to was we had a practice day and I fucking crushed it. The second day I failed it, and I was like, or the first test day I failed it, which was Thursday. I was like, oh shit, right? I was a little nervous. And I go into Friday, fail it, back goes out. But at the end of the day, like, to your question too, like, what does it feel like to be basically dropped, right?
So at that moment,
and it sucked. It really sucked. Like, I knew that I just physically it was over.
I mean, you're laying there.
Yeah, I actually crawled into one of the bathrooms because I was freezing, and I couldn't move. So I found my way to because they have these little bathrooms everywhere. They're basically outhouses.
Okay.
And I just remember laying in that bathroom, and I was like, this fucking sucks. This really fucking sucks. And outside of my best friend, like, I don't know if I've ever told anyone this, so I guess everybody knows now. But yeah, I ended up failing land navigation, and that point, you go and you basically get evaluated, right? And I get dropped naturally.
Did you know you were getting dropped, or was there hope?
No, it was really weird because, I mean, yeah, like you fail, right? And you go back to base and everybody's getting ready to go on the bus to go to the airport to fly out to the island to learn your weapons training, which I never got, which I was really looking forward to. And they basically pull you off the bus and then you get, reviewed, and I get dropped, right? And naturally, like I failed in the story. So, and that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. And at that point, I have to, I was sitting in my barracks in the third phase barracks, just waiting for somebody to come get me. And I literally was there for like a week and a half. And I was like, did they forget about me? and I don't know what was going on. And then it basically goes through, and then I have to, transition out, right? Transition to what we call the dry side, which is like the general Navy side. Okay. So away from the SEAL, the wet side is what they call it, which is right along the ocean. So I go over there, and I'm in this basically intermediary phase where they start evaluating you for your medical and trying to basically needs the Navy, right?
Yeah.
Like that's where you go. But mine was different because I'm there and I have all these chits of injuries because, I was thrown in med bay during Hell Week. I was thrown in med bay the week before Hell Week because that's when I threw him back out. They document nothing from my shoulder because I was hiding that, right? You don't want to expose your injury. Everybody's fucking broken, right? Don't think that you should feel bad for me or feel bad for anybody who gets injured. Every single person that goes through BUD/S is fucking injured.
For sure.
Every single person. So that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I had a light paper trail of the injuries, and at this point, there was a little bit of criticism, and I learned this later, but there were so many people that were injured going into the fleet from BUD/S that basically Big Navy was like, what the fuck are you guys doing over there? The people are coming here and they're broken. What is going on? Can't use them.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting evaluated, and sure enough, L5, L4 ruptured, spinal stenosis, radiculopathy, nerve root compression. My shoulder, like I said, was completely torn in half. 180-degree tear, which I got that repaired as soon as I got out. But yeah, it basically just started the course of being physically evaluated, and they basically said, sorry, we can't use you. You're fucked up. And that was it.
Damn.
Yeah. So
what did that do to morale? Like, where's your mindset at that point?
Yeah. Super challenging. I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to this, whether it's at an extreme level, like what I felt I went through. And there's much more extreme levels, right? Like the guys that serve, and I mean, and they're in the teams and in the military and do the thing for a long time and get deployed like yourself and do those things. Like you guys come back and go through the transition. It's very challenging. So all I'm simply saying is, my transition out was me trying to figure out what the fuck am I going to do?
For sure.
Because
that was everything.
And when I say everything, it was fucking everything.
Yeah.
Like
that's why I ask you. I don't want to think that I'm asking like, because you didn't make it, and because
you're good. Yeah.
Just because of your response, it's like, there's guys that do it for 30 years, 20 years and get out. But everybody, me personally, I could give a fuck, right? Like how long they did it. A transition's a transition, especially going into something so set and goal oriented and like this is your life.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden that just got ripped from you. Like what's like, now you're like, oh, there wasn't a plan B.
No, there wasn't. And I get that question quite a bit. And what I will say is the most challenging thing was not transitioning out so much as it was you become so accustomed to wins every single fucking day. Every time someone quits, it's a win. Every time you get through an evolution, it's a win.
Big wins.
And that like you just see the attrition and you just see, I mean, you get so used to winning, and it's that fracturing that you do to get through it. And I will say that's another piece of advice that I would give somebody going through these pipelines is you manage the totality of the job or the totality of the work by breaking it down, right? So if you have 100 push-ups, you can do this in training, whatever exercise you're doing, whatever you're doing, running miles, whatever. You have 100 push-ups. Some people will go, I'm just going to push out 100. Fuck that. Push out 40 and then push out 20, push out 10, push out 5, break it down as small as you need to do. until you just start getting those little wins. And the next thing you know, you hit 100, right? That's how you do it. I'm at the course. I'm just going to, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to wait until I see somebody quit. We're doing log PT. I'm just going to wait till somebody quit. I'm going to feed on that, right? And I'm going to use that to say to myself, now I'm going to reset. And that's a great, that's probably one of my most learned lessons too was, you know, and I talked about the quiet guy you got to worry about. It's definitely one of the best stories because there's this Master Chief that's absolutely, I mean, within that community, he's so respected. He's a legend within the community.
Okay.
He is not physically daunting at all. He's the guy that'll come up to you at the bar and be like, hey man, like, I just want to talk to you real quick outside. But
he's an absolute murderer.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, you're just like, all right, nice person. Like, let's go talk. And he just sits us down, our class, and he's like, I just want to, and his voice is not he's not like, hey, he's just like, hey guys, like, you know, just want to give you guys a little advice. Like, when you guys hit a wall, just mentally reset. Just reset. And so I tell people, I extend, that's not me talking, that's him. That's just me repeating that amazing advice that he gave me. So when I was in training, when I would see someone quit or I'd get through an evolution, I would take that win and I would just mentally reset and say, we're fresh. It's fresh. That shit sucked. That shit hurt, but I got to win. And I reset.
Yep.
So yeah, so mentally just resetting, breaking things down like that, critically important. Obviously, isolating yourself and then learning how to just reset the mind when you get that win or you get through 10 push-ups or 5 push-ups or whatever it is. You're running 10 miles and maybe run 4, then maybe run 3, and then maybe run 2, and then maybe run 1, and now you've done 10, right? You've completed it. But you get used to that reward system of winning. And I think because I never quit, right? So I had that mindset still burned into my soul. Like I have to go I have to go win somewhere. And so I got out and, you know, I really struggled because, you know, I got so close, right? And I really wanted it more than anything, but now I needed to redirect that effort and redirect all of that pent up aggression because I'm very aggressive just naturally. Football, wrestling, like all the things that contact, like that's jumping off cliffs. Like I seek that and I enjoy it and I feed it. So now what the fuck am I going to do? Right. So I get out and I'm like, well, you know, I guess I can go to college. So I did that, went and got my degree and I went and got in entrepreneurship, which is serving me very well now in the brand. And, but yeah, for me, that's the advice because a lot of my friends are getting out right now, right? They're just at that point where they're retiring. They're getting ready to retire. And man, I'm realizing that these dudes are my good friends, at least. I only speak for them and the conversations I have, no one else. But the conversations I have, they feel the same way I did. Like, they're like, dude, like, what the fuck do I do with this? With all this standard, with all of the things that, you know, waking up and doing this. And I guess that's true for any career, but when you're in that environment, like you're at the nth degree of challenge and the nth degree of you're on the bleeding edge of everything, right? I mean, you're literally in an area where the most small, minute amount of people have been, and like, now what do you do? So for me, it's like, you have to have a target. I had a target. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to get a degree. And like I said, like I clearly made my girlfriend, the girl I was dating, my girlfriend, and we ended up getting married, of course. And so obviously she's, you know, amazing human being and for sticking through that with me. And yeah, she was certainly a comfort and a rock every weekend. I'd go see her and be with her. But, so we get out, we're dating naturally and doing all those things. And again, like that's how committed I was. Like I literally did not make her my girlfriend until I was out of the military. Like I knew that the battle was over.
She stuck it out?
She stuck it the fuck out.
Damn, good. That's a good one.
She's out. She's also a redhead. So if I fuck around, she fucks me up.
Yeah, she'll kill you.
Yeah, sure. I'll die. Yeah, it's over. So I know my limits. I know my limits. But yeah, so she's amazing. So I ended up getting my degree and then I started the corporate world. Currently still in the corporate world.
Doing what?
infrastructure, global infrastructure.
Like what? Explain it.
Everything that powers a city, a building, managed sales teams, basically helping them understand how to work with end users, with contractors. And, I don't want to, go too far into that, but I'll just say it's pretty technical, data center, data communications, distributed antenna systems like switchgear, panel boards, all the, different variations of divisions of electrical stuff. So, all the different specifications that go into building data centers and powering cities and powering buildings and basically everything besides concrete and wood. We're going
to have to talk after this.
Okay.
Yeah, I might.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you brought that up.
So, which leads me into the brand, right? It's like...
which is the brand is what? You've mentioned the brand several times. So you've not dropped a name.
Yep. This is about the experience, but it's Project Linear.
Okay.
That's our handle. That's our website.
Can I open this?
Yes, sir. There's something very special in there for you. Something that no one's even seen. No one even knows it's coming.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Well, good.
And it is... so there's obviously some articles in there from our brand. And our brand specializes in performance activewear for men currently. And we iterate and develop all of our gear with athletes who are military, law enforcement, first responder, team guys. We have a Meridian PD guy here, Chris Jacob, which is an absolute tank. If you go on our website and you see some massive beast lifting like a shit ton of weight, that's Chris.
Yeah.
It's absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, there's something super special in there for you that you'll see outside of the clothing.
What was your motivation?
There it is.
The patch?
Yes, sir. So that patch is actually made by a veteran-owned company called Moral Decay Patchwork.
Okay.
They're all handmade in America, leather.
Oh, shit.
And you're the first person to have that. We are launching that. So for your listeners, they're going to get a nugget. We're one of 25 on the 7th of November.
No shit.
Yes, sir. And so they made those for us. Especially, they're just a phenomenal organization. Again, veteran owned. Both husband and wife are both veterans and law enforcement now. The husband's law enforcement. So true service people. And that really ties into the brand, right? So every single athlete and affiliate that we work with, that we have on our website, that does work with us, military, law enforcement, first responder, zero exceptions. Every single piece of gear that we iterate is with military, law enforcement, first responder. It is a true premium offering, meaning every single fiber of our gear has anti-odor, antimicrobial, and anti-pilling technology. So why do we do that? We do that because when we iterate, right, with the field, with our development group, we call them, everything has a natural tie to the military.
Yeah.
So we call it our development group. Navy SEAL, right? A couple other guys in the SWAT teams. We also have a top 5 CrossFit athlete in the world, and Scott Tetlow, who's also active duty Navy. Most people will know Scott, right? Like he's performed at the highest level. Mm-hmm. He was the men's demo team captain a couple of years ago. Like he contributes to the board. He has an amazing programming schedule. Like the guy's extremely sought after. He's a renowned CrossFit athlete, but also a service member, right?
Yeah.
Zero exceptions on this. So we iterate with him, iterate the folks like that. What do you need? The anti-pilling is mainly because the fibers break down, right?
Yep.
When you're wearing a rig, you're wearing a body armor, you're wearing weight vest, it breaks those fibers and you get all the little balling, the pilling on your fibers. We don't want that. We want shit to work. So we add an application to that prevents it from doing that. The anti-odor, antimicrobial, we leveraged an organic derivative from volcanic ash, which has a natural anti-odor, antimicrobial properties to it. So your gear won't stink. So we got guys, why do we do that? So guys go running out in the outdoors, or, I mean, I got a couple buddies that I gave shorts to that are deployed, that are, in some humid climates, and it doesn't stink. They can literally wear them for days. It neutralizes the bacteria, right? So it doesn't stink.
Almost like a merino wool.
So merino is a natural organic, antimicrobial, anti-odor, antimicrobial, but also has a natural thermal regulation property to it, the merino wool. I'll give your listeners another nugget. We have our next series coming out in April, which will be a natural cotton bamboo blend. So bamboo has similar properties as merino wool. It's naturally thermoregulating. It's naturally anti-odor, antimicrobial, and it also adds a layer of SPSF 50. So it's sunblock resistant as well.
Shit.
Yeah, these organic compounds are wild. But so we do that, right? We do that for reason, for purpose, because we want your shit to work. We don't want it to fall apart. It's not cheap. It's expensive. Me and my wife have completely funded this. We have no outside investment, which is exactly what I want.
Let's
Yeah.
let's talk about that, man, because this is Wild Chaos, and we get into the guts of everything. And when you first reached out, I was like, all right, cool, yeah, like I wanna check this out. But then after I was reading your, are you like Are you just shitting your pants as I'm opening these bags with a knife?
No, you're good. You're good. They're knife proof. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, these are shorts?
So they're shorts. Yeah, they got the 2-in-1s.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, and again, that's where my journey started with this, was iterating with other brands. And I kept telling them about the liner being fucked up because I lift weights, I have legs.
Yeah.
But I also trail run. Like I do Roby, you know. I've done it twice. I did it this last year in these. And that hem right there that you grabbed, on most shorts in that liner. On most shorts, if you look in liners, you're going to see like basically just the stitching, the seam, right? And then you're going to see like a little 1/8 inch hem. The problem with that is once it rides up, it basically acts as a rubber band. So I was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to redesign this. So I basically created our hems with a 2-inch surface area, which creates more surface area, so that hem will glide up and down your leg instead of rolling up and staying there, which is great. But in addition to that, another problem with every single liner I've ever ran and lifted with was they're all a mid to high compression, nylon shitty liner. Because everybody's like, oh, the shell looks great. Well, if you just turn it inside out and you look, you're probably wearing the same fucking liner your buddy's wearing, because they all just use standardized liners because it cuts cost. It's bullshit. And so what I did was I redesigned, instead of a mid to high compression fabric, I went with a low to no compression so that it doesn't prevent your ROM or your range of motion while you're running.
Yeah.
Also, because we selected the mesh fabric, mesh, when it gets wet, it gets sticky. So it sticks in spider webs to your leg. So when you start to sweat, shit doesn't move.
Got it.
And so anyway, it's purpose. It's intentional.
You have put a lot of thought into this.
I no stone unturned. All the way down to the zipper tabs have our logo imprinted on them, and that's some sexy stuff, right? But this is why I iterate with who I iterate with, right? Because those liners, right? So you got your iPhone XS Max pocket built into the right side liner.
Okay.
We did the same thing on the left side liner, and my buddy's like, yo, my phone's too big. It bounces around. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to make it smaller. So now you have a small phone pocket. So instead of two big pockets on the right and left side of your liner, you now have an iPhone XS Max pocket on the right. And on the other side of the liner, you have a smaller pocket for the smaller phone or supplements. And then you have a hidden key pocket in your inner waistband. And then even in your zip pockets on the side, we put little pockets in there. Why? Because you put your cat card in there. You can put your Ridge wallet or whatever. Shout out to Ridge. They make cool shit. And everybody knocks them off. Forget them. Go with Ridge. Let's go. But yeah, so everything's iterated well. Our shirts are,
feels incredible.
It's unreal. Yeah, it's super soft, So if you go on our Instagram at Project Linear, you're going to see a bunch of dudes kicking indoors, blowing shit up, which for your audience will probably love that. Why is that? Well, because that's who we iterate with. So we send them shirts. We go, guys, I want you to go beat the shit out of this. I don't want to know what you love about it. I want to know what you hate about it. Go put it through the ringer. Yeah. So you got guys blowing up shit, breaching doors, all sorts of shit. Even the seams that we put in our shirts, where we put them, are there for a reason. We don't put them down your collarbone because if you're wearing a kit or you're wearing a rig, you get fucking chafing on your traps. Do you think anybody at any of these big brands give a shit about you when you're wearing your rig?
We're not making it.
No, they don't. No. And if they're turning, anyway, I don't want to knock on them. I'm just saying we're doing things differently. We're doing them intentionally. Everything we do is intentional.
Yeah.
Everything has a purpose. Everything has a reason. Our tank tops, right? Even your waistband, right? It's not a standard waistband. The waistband is 1.75 inches, which is at least a half an inch taller than your standard waistband. Why? Because we don't want it to roll. We want it to stay put. And so we did it that way. Why are your draw cords on the inside? Because you don't want your shit hanging out, dangling everywhere. You can tuck them in. You can be streamlined. So again, it's that attention to detail and that standard that is burned into my soul that will never leave, where I'm able to direct that energy and put my wins in something that's tangible. And that's what I did with the brand. And so, if you look on the tear tag, it'll basically say, it'll say workout, wash cold, hang dry, repeat, right? Like the tear tag, right? And then we also have a workout on there, but like everything is intentional. Everything is purposeful. But yeah, even the seams to where they are, right? I mean, we're trying to challenge people. You open the bag, but there's actually a workout on the bag. What does that signify? Why do you have a workout on your bag? I do that because when you get our shit, I want you to understand that there is a standard. I expect you to work out in this. Not that you'd have to listen to me. I'm just saying, like, I'm not just sending you a bag that is just holding your gear. Like, I want to challenge you. I want you to see a challenge before you even touch the item.
Yeah.
Even if you don't buy my shit, like, go do the workout, right? The workout was specific. It was designed for a reason. It's basically a way to test yourself. It was so funny. My buddy and I started doing this basically here in Boise, where we're like,
oh, tank tops, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in my tank top era right now.
I got you, brother. I've had some people that are like, I hate tank tops. Like, this is a bro tank. Like,
those people suck.
We've converted them. So we do a slight drop neck in the tank. So when you hold it up, it won't just be some standard bullshit like drop. We actually did a little bit of a drop neck. Why do you do that? Because when you're doing overhead movements, it doesn't bunch, and you get greater range of motion with your arm swing. Well, why is your tank like a half an inch longer or an inch longer than everybody else's? Because I don't want a fucking belly shirt when I'm lifting my barbell over my head.
Thank you.
Right?
Finally.
So anyway, man, I don't know. It's almost like
That's my problem. I go through. I lift my arms up, my shirt, my belly. No.
There you go, brother. I got you.
This is great idea. Are the workouts all different? Or is
it is. It's all the same workout, and just from
on that.
From a production standpoint, it's just a cost, right?
No,
and we're self-funded, but the workout, it wasn't. It was less about the quantity of the workouts, right? It was the quality of, like, that workout is a 4-time workout. It's a functionally sound workout. Like, you're deadlifting, you're running, you're jumping, you're pushing, you're pulling. Those are literally the functions you want to do. And so, like, my training mindset, like how I train, right? I run a lot.
Yes.
I do a lot of endurance, but I also lift weight. My whole like mentality is, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and your buddy gets fucked up, are you gonna be able to save his life?
Mm-hmm.
Can you carry him to safety? Can you get yourself out to safety?
Have you seen the trend going around right now with moms?
Mm-mm.
If you could just grab your kid and run, like, just pick your kid up and run with them.
Is that drive from California?
No, yeah,
sorry.
But there's like this trend going around right now, and all these moms are kind of mad about it because they're realizing they can't pick their kid up and run. But you look at it, and it's like you just saying that. Can you pick a buddy up? Yeah, okay, cool. Is your boy kitted out? How big?
Yeah.
But I mean, you just break that down to a normal everyday woman or husband. I mean, dude, I know some guys where I'm like,
soft.
You had. I don't know if soft's the word. I wouldn't even categorize them as soft, but I'm like, bro, you got kids.
You're getting eliminated in nature.
Darwin is going to catch you.
Go and get you.
But it's like, man, you're a father. Like, we that's where I'm at. That's where
that's important. Yeah, that mindset of, I mean, look, I'm not saying that you have to train like you got to save somebody's life. Like, that's how I like to train and position, my objectives. If just think about like your mental well-being and what you're able to accomplish. I always tell people, like, if you want a good idea, or if you want to be creative, or you want some intellectual dialect with yourself, go for a long fucking run. And don't do a loop. Do an out and back. Why do you do an out and back? Be intentional. If I do loops, you can quit anytime. If you go out and back, you got to fucking come back.
Yeah. Right?
That's exactly what I tell people when they're like, hey, how do I train for running? And I go, do out and back. Don't
run to it, run your ass back.
That's right. And even if you go to the end or close to it and you turn around and you're walking back, fine.
That's your starting point.
Fine. You got an extra couple miles walking. But you do loops, you're literally tempted with the opportunity to quit
at the end point that you keep passing.
Every finish line.
Finish line.
That's right. Yeah, so it's intentional, right? So yeah, we did that. We iterated with military, law enforcement, first responder. We got Cody Dickerson, who's a very, I mean, he just took ninth in beach brawl out in Florida, a huge regional CrossFit competition. He's also a military law enforcement guy, and then we got a couple guys that are in the teams, a couple guys also in the SWAT units that I'm not going to identify, but yeah, that's who I iterate with, right? And we support organizations. We just did a couple amazing organizations. We did the 20 Mountain 220 with 3bravo.org.
Okay.
It was basically an ultra, right? It was 220 miles.
Gross.
And we outfitted a Navy SEAL, and there were some CIA guys with them. 220 miles over 20 mountains, wearing 22 pounds of weight in their rucks to draw awareness for veteran suicide, that we lose 22 guys a day to veteran suicide. We were able to outfit them, and that's another piece to this, right? Like, you go to Instagram, we got like 2,500 followers, right? I don't give a fuck about that, because I could put 5-10 grand into marketing and pump those numbers.
For sure.
I'd rather take that money and send it to an organization, because then I'm able to support them. We get visibility out of it. But honestly, this whole brand, like, the brand's great. We have a mantra like beyond the brand, right? Bigger than the brand. It's never about the brand. It's bigger than the brand. And I get kind of get sidetracked sometimes, or get pushback from some folks around me. They're like, yo, like, stop collaborating with organizations. Like, it's about the brand. I'm like, fuck that, dude. I want the more team first, team organization first. So we got to outfit them. They completed it. It was amazing, drew awareness. And then we just did another one with the Navy SEAL Foundation. There was a Southern 100 for SEALs, Huntsville, Alabama, all the way to Nashville, Tennessee. We outfitted their entire group. They went the whole way, drawing awareness, raising funds for that community, which is fantastic. And then we're doing another one in Coronado next month. We got invited back. We've been doing some regional competitions. The Summit Games out in Utah, phenomenal organization, very challenging. But yeah, I mean, that's how we're integrating, right? We're not spending our capital on, you hear the 80-20 rule. For business people, that's a big one, right? 80% marketing, 20% product service. I don't fucking want that product or service. I want somebody that goes, I'm spending 80 to 90% of what I have in the product, the development, and the service. The 10%, sure, do what you want with it. I don't care how bright and flashy your stuff is. Even our design premises designed for the quiet professional, right? The derivatives of the military emphasis, right? We're no bright logos, not fancy shit. Everything's intentional. Everything's purposeful. And that's what's giving me direction and the ability to accomplish things, and getting that sense of win. Because when you own a business, as you know, and anybody listening owns a business, you fail daily. You have to iterate, you have to adjust, you have to find wins. And honestly, this has been the greatest conduit to not only support the community and say, hey, influencer, I don't care how many people you have. I'm not interested in working with you. But I have a dude that got voluntold by his wife because he saw a shout out on Instagram. That's Chris Jacob. He's a Meridian PD guy. we had one guy bail on us at the last minute for our photo shoot because it was a conflict of interest or whatever. And one of the social media groups out here put out a post like, hey, any military law enforcement, this is a brand new brand. We weren't even launched yet. It was like 24 hours for our first photo shoot. And I'm like freaking the fuck out because I'm like, what am I going to do? And all of a sudden, he gets voluntold by his wife because his wife's like, honey, you're doing this. Because he's law enforcement. He comes to the thing, he walks in, I'm like, you're fucking hired. Dude is just ginormous, lifts a house. The most humble individual you'll ever meet, naturally, right? These dudes, like when we just did a photo shoot yesterday with a Marine double amputee EOD tech. Okay. So this guy, he unbelievable human being.
I might know this guy.
Jesse?
Yeah. Does his wife do sourdough and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. I've met him before. I actually want him on the podcast.
You should have him.
To get his contact. We took a sourdough course from them a while back, and his wife, and they have this beautiful home. He's got a beautiful family. He's one of the most intelligent people you ever meet. Really?
Dude was a PA.
I didn't get to spend much time with. This is him.
Physician assistant, disarm bombs, humble as shit.
Yeah. Great dude.
Guess what? His wife voluntold him. Mm-hmm. We were at the Aaron Butler Purple Heart run out in Eagle. And we're supporting that, doing that organization. And that was the first organization we got to support. We're out there with our stand, and his wife comes up, and I think she's from Australia or New Zealand or something. She's got an accent. She's amazing. And she's like, hey, would your company be okay, like, having my husband be a model for you? I was like, where is he? And she points to him like, fuck yeah. And I was like, dude, like, I would love to do this. So we just did a photo shoot yesterday. An amazing place, CrossFit Northside.
Okay.
They're a great group. I'm calling these people out, not because it's like, oh, we're trying to, drop a name. I'm doing this because these people, like CrossFit E3, CrossFit Northside, these organizations are intentionally going out of their way to support a tiny little fish that is linear in this huge fucking pond with endless amounts of marketing. And they're going, hey, come use our space for free. Come work with us. And I'm just like, it gives me chills because just the human element, and again, just the ability for this brand to be a conduit into the community and support, it's just been phenomenal. But Jesse gets voluntold, right? So his wife comes, I was like, basically voluntells him to come do that. And if you're in the military, you know the term voluntold. Like you get voluntold shit all the time. Like, does anybody want to do it? Yes, you all do. So, so he agrees reluctantly because military law enforcement, first responder, they don't want to be in front of a lens. So we're just at CrossFit Northside yesterday, working out, being filmed by an amazing photographer, Anya Stoll. You look her up. She, again, human. I'm not I want to be very clear about that because we don't spend a ton of money on marketing. Mm-hmm. A lot of this is an exchange, right? Monarch Bag Company is another one, right? They've really stepped up and supported us and done some really good collaborations with us. Devin at Sigma Wolf, just unbelievable media. Yeah. Putting out, so we got some new content coming. But the point is this, is like, I think when we hear authentic a lot, right? We have a term, no AI needed, right? That's one of our premises when we go in to create media. Like if you look at our images, none of it's Photoshopped. Mm-hmm. None of it's AI. All the copy is written by me or my team, right? It's not just true grit, born from persuasion and a fucked up input because, ChatGPT got all sideways on you.
Yeah.
But everything's real, right? We're out in Brano Dunes in the area. So I'm bringing up these organizations because number one, they're great people, great organizations. But a pillar is our community. Another pillar is our community being military law enforcement. Another pillar is our partners, right? We support all three of those pillars anytime we can because they've been there for us. And they're just amazing human beings. But yeah, so we did the photo shoot with Jesse yesterday, CrossFit Northside, and Chris is deadlifting like 650 pounds. And I'm just like, what's wrong with you, dude? Yeah. I'm going to call the zoo. I'm taking you back. Yeah. Like, I'm going to trank you. I'm taking you in. So super quiet guy, just super humble. You should have him on. The guy's
I'd love to.
Oh, unbelievable. And, but yeah, so did that photo shoot and it was just so cool. Just, seeing someone like Jesse who has so many reasons not to be in front of a camera and just say, fuck that. Like, no, he's a warrior, dude. The guy's unbelievable. He's an amazing human being and just such a gentle giant. Dude's way taller than me. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, this fixture up, he's towering over me, but amazing human being. Yeah. And it's definitely been the most gratifying and funnest thing. And we look to do more of that. And we want to do that. We want to grow and just want to be there for Boise and be there for the community because that's why we're doing what we're doing.
That's pretty awesome, man. I mean, you are in a very tough industry. Like we've been in the apparel world for a long time, and box office stores. It's
hard,
tough. I've worked for a couple of big clothing companies as far as like
their reach, their breadth, probably.
Well, just on the fact of these technical apparel companies, right? More hunting stuff or lifestyle, and man, to the grind that it is. And so, let's get real right now for a minute.
Yeah, let's do it.
What's it like running a business with you from home? With you and your wife? How involved is your wife? I'm sure.
Well, that's the big piece, right? So
always
it's the team.
Always. What's the toll? Because I mean, you got a great brand. You got obviously you're making a way here in the valley.
Yeah. Great.
Everybody can see that. What is it? Because I'm asking these questions because, dude,
I know you've been there.
Yeah. And nobody talks about it. And I feel this is the best way to get people to connect to your brand is to know who you are and what it takes. Because, cool, we look at Under Armour, but we don't know. Nobody knows who Kip is, who started that shit in his garage, or Bear starting it in his garage.
Amazing.
We're gonna get his story at the end of the week. But like guys like that, like that's what matters to me as a consumer. Like when I'm gonna see this logo.
Yeah.
your logo here.
Yep, which is
I want
great.
to talk about why you picked this logo, because
100%. It's important.
it has a meaning. I hope it does.
Important.
And so okay, let's start. Well, I guess we'll get to the logo, but
Yeah.
what's it like, man?
Like I said, it's a daily failure, right?
Yep.
And it's a daily you have to be creative. You have to be able to pivot. You have to. This all is derived from caring, right? If you're doing something that you don't care about, like it's so funny how many things that I've been able to be successful at, Hell Week and all the other things, by just being pissed off. Yeah. Like, I'm pissed off. I want to fight. Like, you're gonna have to kill me. I was pissed off at the clothes. I was pissed off because I wasn't getting what I wanted, and nobody seemed to give a shit. And so
Why weren't you getting what you wanted?
Because I was providing feedback. I was literally on phones with people at these organizations, these brands, because I'm trialing their gear, giving them iterations and feedback, doing what my guys in the field do for us. Mm-hmm. And I literally keep giving them the same fucking response, and they just look at me like I'm an idiot. Mm-hmm. Because apparently people that run don't have legs. And so I'm like, okay, well, there's a market for it, and that market is me. If you like the gear, cool. If you don't, cool. Like, there's other shit for you. In fact, that's literally our slogan, is for the few. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I didn't make this for everybody. If I did, I would have put a flashy color on it, and just pumped a shit ton of marketing. Yeah. I'm doing this because I wanted to be satisfied. And that's it. The two lines are completely indicative of my experience of the military. 2 is 1, 1 is none, right? 2 lines, team, always having a dive buddy. It's a team focus. We have a mantra that we only say amongst ourselves in the team when we're dialoguing, and we, naturally as a business dynamic, we'll end it with one team, because no matter what we say before that, whether we're arguing, because businesses are like family. Mm-hmm. And when I talk about my team, I'm talking about my wife, who's extremely intelligent, operationally, strategically, just scheduling, like all of the things. She's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. The machine does not run without her. Managing the finances, doing those things. Aaron, who is a wizard with design. If you see something sexy, anything sexy that has to do with the design, including that beautiful logo you're holding, it's his doing. It's him. And when I try to design, I get put in the penalty box, and I'm okay with that, because nobody's above anyone in our group. We have Josh, who is a prior Air Force veteran who lives in Norway now, but he does a lot of our field videography.
Okay.
So when you see some promotional videos where there's some dudes working out and it looks good, it's probably on a base, or it's in the mountains where the guys are training.
Yeah. Or
it's in a gym where the guys are training. Every single person you see in those videos are military, law enforcement, first responder, because he goes and meets them. It's unbelievable. But yeah, what it's like, it's very challenging, but honestly, you're winning every day because you're dealing with the challenges, and you have to overcome. And 2, it's important, right? If you're doing something that's important to you, that has meaning, like the 2 lines I talked about, it team first, right? 2 is 1, 1 is none, always having a team. It's also just psychologically about the 2 lines. One is they're parallel, but they're not quite aligned. Why is that? Because one line is who you used to be. Another line is who you've evolved to be. Mm-hmm. You're always progressing, forward progression. You're always moving forward. That's why it's straight. That's why it's linear. It's linear. You're moving in a linear direction, mm-hmm. in a forward direction, always improving. And it's also fairly dynamic, right? It looks like it's moving quickly. So there's speed involved there. But yeah, I mean, everything's important. So the brand is easy. The challenges are easy. And also coming out of a furnace that is, a Bud's pipeline, right? And yeah, I didn't finish, and that's okay, right? Like, I never quit, but mm-hmm. I didn't get the ultimate prize of getting to do the job. These things are much easier. The challenging part is doing something like this with the financial strain. We take 0 outside investment, right?
So have you made it work so far? I mean, obviously you have,
because we've leveraged every asset we own.
Really? So
for the first 2 years when we knew this was coming, right, we iterated for about 2 years intentionally. We did that because we wanted to refine the product. We wanted to know the industry. I come from infrastructure, so I deal globally with all sorts of things and challenges, and it's a very technical field, but I knew that we need to make it right, because if you are a small family-owned business and you're trying to do something like this, you better shoot a straight arrow. So we took our time. During those 2 years, I was trading stock.
Okay.
And so we did okay. We were able to basically pay cash for our first round. Our second round, we're leveraging assets, right? Which is what we're in second round of production right now. It's coming out in spring. It's going to expand the breadth. And this is, again, your listeners are getting everything from us. But that's good, because I guess I want less the surprise of dropping things, and I would rather have more sharing. Like, we are a small business. We have no outside investment. If you like our product, share it, wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what we want. If you hate it, fucking tell me. Send it back. I'll give you your money. I don't care. But tell me why you don't like it, so that I can fix it for the next person. And maybe you can come back and give it another shot. Like, you're not going to offend me. That's actually another mantra when we're iterating. When I send the guys the gear, I go, I don't care what you like about it. Tell me what you hate about it. It's literally what I do.
Mm-hmm. That's how it should be.
And so, but that's not really how it is generally. No. I mean, we're it's high performance wear, right? Like, I want people to be better in the gear. I want them to perform better. I want them to not worry about where their keys are when they're running, right? If you're going on a trail run, you lose your keys, you're fucked. Especially if you're doing it out and back. Uh-oh.
Someone has lost her keys to my truck before. Well, it's a touchy subject. We want to go on that one.
Uh-oh. My bad.
You could have probably used the pocket there too.
Sorry. But yeah, I mean, like, it's performance made for a reason, right?
Yeah.
But
so here's a question for you for the massive civilian side, because I've worked for some, veteran brands. I've helped grow some and do things. A lot of questions that we get is, man, I'm not a vet. I feel like I shouldn't be rocking this gear.
That's a good point. Yeah. So how do we overcome that? Or
yeah, I mean,
I don't make them feel.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, dude, I would, civilian or not, this is great gear and it feels incredible, and I can't wait to wear it.
Honestly, I would say, I don't know if you should necessarily have that perspective. The perspective, and I'm not saying that, forcing this perspective on you, but I would just say our intention is not to solely, our intention to support the community by way of military, law enforcement, first responder. It's not because I want to exclude. It's because I want to give back to the community that serves. Yeah. That's just my way. And if they, and I also don't want to turn this tables and be like, oh, give us the money because you're supporting a veteran. That's not what this is about. Mm-hmm. What this is about is us iterating with those who are at literally the peak performance. I mean, I don't know anybody who I could have a conversation with to be like, are you a better athlete than a SEAL? Are you? And they'd be like, well, maybe, all the time, no, they'd be like, they have high fucking standards. Yep. They perform extremely well, right? If it's good enough for them, I hope that it would be good enough for you. I'm going to the circle that I know of the highest performing individuals that I've ever encountered. Yep. And I'm saying, help me make this product the best it can be so that we can share it with everyone.
Awesome.
That is the perspective I would hope that they would see. And that just know that, get involved, right? Civilian or not, like, we have tremendous amount of people that come in and be like, how can I help?
Yeah.
How can I help? How can I support you? How can I support the group? And it's like, just go and ask the community. Go ask Mission 43. Yep. Go volunteer. Go do those things. Yep. We need you at events. The Purple Heart Run, right? Aaron Butler, like, go volunteer. Go out and support. I promise you that those veterans are admiring your sacrifice for this community. It's just like, I don't spend the money on us. Go support the community. Go get out there and do it. Right. Yep. That's what I would say.
Yeah. And I ask that because it always, every time when I was working for previous companies, they'd be like, well, I'm not a vet though. And I gotta have buddies be like, yo, hey, here's a code, go order whatever you want. When I'm not a vet, it'll always drive me nuts. And I'm like, dude, it's just veteran owned. It doesn't mean.
But just know this too. Like, you heard how, I mean, I'm only speaking for my brand, right? I mean, period.
I mean, I don't know any veteran brand that would exclude civilians, but the civilians for some reason get that feel, especially when you're veteran heavy on influence. So I want people to hear from you. It's like, cool, because you know, I battled it for years with other companies. We're like, guys, like we got to, like, we're so heavy on operators that your average Joe starts to feel like, maybe I'm not
part
cool
of the,
enough.
I'm not cool enough.
Yeah. So
it's never about that. And again,
Absolutely.
and again, I would just say, look at the great things, even us just being a tiny, 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 tiny fish, a small family-owned business, no outside investment, no control.
Yep.
What we've been able to do just by supporting some organizations with our gear. Like, if you feel good about that, if that makes you feel good, if, you know, support us or support the organization. Like, that's what it's about. Like, it's never about sales. It's just about how do we use these resources to do something better than just sell clothes.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the brand. It's beyond the brand. That's a mantra. That's how we live. That's how my team and I organize. That's what we do. Is this going to impact one of the 3 pillars? Why are we doing it? Will it impact it? It literally is the North Star to our decision-making process.
I love that. Yeah.
And that's how we decide. Will it make an impact in any of those 3 pillars? If it's not, then we're not doing it.
Yep.
We're not doing it. Right? We have influencers who are like, hey, give me some money. I'll do one of these cool opening bag things and I'll do a spin and then ghost face you in the corner or some shit. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I would rather take those couple $1,000, outfit some dudes to go 220 miles, drawing awareness for a better fucking cause than selling clothes.
Yep.
Just so happens we make good shit, but that's intentionally. It's there for a reason.
How was it sourcing and finding the fabric?
Oh man, I'm glad you brought that up.
I know textile, like I know
it's a bitch.
Yeah, and then especially with overseas manufacturers, because you manufacture out of Vietnam, right? That's
correct.
what I saw.
Yep.
Which and this is for everybody. If you're not ever been in an apparel business, telling an small apparel company to go, hey, you should make it in America.
I'll attack that right now.
Doesn't work.
No. I'll enlighten you.
Yeah.
And so, right, my background's in global distribution, right? So I deal with MOQs, minimum order quantities, all the logistics, all the supply chain challenges, all things globally, right? I've been doing that for a long time. I knew when going into this, when I was trying to source this, I wasn't going to meet any fucking minimums here in domestic production. Think about this. America producing textiles, right? When you think who makes the most clothes in the world, you're not thinking first go, yeah, America makes the most clothes in the world, right? So the ability to produce is already contracted, right? Yep. We don't have as many manufacturing companies.
Shit for facilities here.
And people, of course, right? We can dive into the dynamics of that. But what I'm trying to express is there's a very small amount of producers, manufacturers. Mm-hmm. You have all these big brands, with a lot of big fucking money. Mm-hmm. And they're going, I want to order 500,000 units. And then you have us going, I want to order 9,000 units. Okay.
Which is a lot for a small business.
First of all, I knew that was going to happen. Uh-huh. But what I did was I reached out to 10 of them and I sent them the information, and I did not get one meeting because they asked you a question. What is your expected quantity?
What's your minimum?
Guess what? I tripled it. I went 3x above what I knew I could afford. Never got a call. So to give your listeners an idea of what this looks like, just in raw numbers, we ordered 9,000 units. Well, it was actually because we had some loss because they, fucked up some units on the way, but it was somewhere around like 8,542 units or something like that. Total was what we ordered. The next smallest number was 356,000 because it was on the manifest, right? There's a manifest that comes over. I saw the manifest. The next smallest number of units from one entity going to a company was 356,000 units or 350,000 units, 350 something. It was an absurd number, but it didn't shock me because this is the same thing in infrastructure. It's the exact same thing. Yeah. So when everybody's like, oh, why don't you just produce domestically? It's like, you don't understand. Like, I can't afford 500,000 units, right? Unless my quality is degraded, right? So
even then.
So how do I combat this situation, right? Intentional, purposeful. All of that technology card right there expresses to you what our manufacturing, where it is, and what goes into it. Okeotech certified, ISO 8000, all these other certifications. What does that mean in language, in common language? It's ethically sourced, ethically produced, no child labor laws. It's literally the highest standard of production that you can get globally.
Okay.
Also, our manufacturer is in 5 countries. It's not just one small little sweatshop house. This is an established organization over 5 countries. So how does a little brand like me get them to take on 9,000 units? I pay a lot of fucking money, right? And I'm doing things differently. What do you mean you're doing things differently? Anti-odor, antimicrobial, anti-pilling technology. I differentiated the brand and said we're doing something different. Why does that matter? At the end of the production cycle, the textile organization of Vietnam had reached out because this particular this manufacturer, it's global, right? They're a big organization. They also partner with up and coming capabilities. They're forecasting what is on the horizon. What is coming down the road? What is the best shit that people are making? And they asked me to do an interview because they're like, these are trends that we don't see. Why are you doing it? And I explained to them exactly what I explained to you. This is purposeful, meaningful design. It has a reason and a purpose. It is not just a piece of clothing. It serves a purpose. And they thought that was interesting enough to have an interview. Unfortunately, we had the interview and I didn't agree to have it published because as a brand and in clothing and textile, you know this, and it's basically impossible to copyright your design.
Yeah, you get pirated immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah. Especially from China. As soon as they find anything that's working, I mean, they own it.
So I had to strategically have the call, but strategically decline to have it published because once it gets published, it'd be, hey, this is a microphone. This is what this company is doing. I get squashed.
Oh yeah, you don't.
So our footing, are the only beachhead that we have is literally our technology. It's our fabric. That's what makes it different, and also the iteration, the design, and why we're doing this.
You have a lot. I mean,
I didn't cut any corners.
You didn't cut any corners because I mean, packaging this bag right here, fuck, dude, you're talking. Yeah, that's 25, 50 cents right there, depending on minimums.
It's not cheap.
Hang tags. I mean, that's another.
Well, you should see the new hang tags. I mean, so Aaron, he's officially our brand and design guy. Dude has like 20 years of corporate design experience, like big agency shit.
Yeah.
Dude's just a wizard. He's an absolute master. And so Steve Jobs, Wozniak, right? Like you find complementary assets, and I'll give that nugget too as a business person, right? When you're starting a business, if you have pride, you're fucked. Why?
It usually takes guys years and a couple failed companies to figure out.
Because you have to be able to look inside and say, I really suck at that.
Yep.
Who can do that shit? And this guy can do that shit. He's really fucking good.
Fire yourself and hire somebody that can do it.
100%. Mm-hmm. And Casey, my wife, she can do the shit I can't do. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do it. And she's really fucking good at it. So you look in the room and Josh and even the athletes, right? What they're doing. Like, you have to look around and you have to understand less all this out here and more about what's going on in here. Like, where do you suck? Where do you fail? How do you fix that? Mm-hmm. Who do you need to bring in? So we have quite the team. I mean, we are working on all cylinders. I mean, everybody's up late, early and late. I mean, so with the manufacturing piece, we obviously we'd like to have some elements domestically, which by extension, we were able to do with our patches.
That's cool. Yeah.
So that's 100% American made.
Yeah.
Our commitment is as far as we can financially afford to do it without completely ruining the business. Mm-hmm. This is a way that we can do custom handmade patches in America with another veteran-owned company that are pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
mean, I'm so excited to send those out on the 7th, 1 of 25. So your listeners already have a heads up, but we're going to have some really cool media. So we got some guys, some operators out in Utah that are actually doing some pretty cool footage right now.
Yeah.
And pretty cool imagery with those. So that's our team patch. So that one intentional, right? That's our team patch. It's going to be basically a part of our team edition, which will be a limited series, as these other series will as well, apart from the general offering. But those are intended for weight belts, right? They're intended for weight vests. We have our elite editions that are coming out. That is a scaled down version of that. Still same design, same everything like that, but it fits on your rig. It's made for your nameplate area.
Okay.
So it's very cool. Those are coming, and we're going to drop those as well. But so those guys are out there going to be lighting some shit up with our patches, and we have some pretty cool imagery that's coming out for the chest rig, and then also the weight belt. We just did that with Jesse and a few other guys and Chris. So we're excited to share that, man. But that's a way we can differentiate. That's a way we can support domestic production. And
there's little ways of doing it. But yeah, it always drove me nuts. They're like, man, I'd love to support it, but I want to support American made. And I'm like, well, if you want to support American made, you think this is expensive now?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you have to pick, right? I mean, I don't have endless money. I don't have any investors. I mean, it's just me and my wife, right? Financially.
Look at what is it, Jocko and that group of dudes that are trying to do their origin or whatever.
Dude, they got there's a behemoth. They're a behemoth, and it's like,
yeah, the previous owner of Under Armour's backing it. Like,
it's just unreal, but it's still challenging. I mean, so.
And they had to create their own manufacturing company, I believe, for their jeans and stuff. So,
and I don't want to knock that mindset at all.
No. If you have the funds for it, do it.
Well, even as a consumer, like, I don't want to deter anybody. Like, hey, look, like, if your turn off for this brand is Vietnam, cool. Like, I get it. Like, that's fine. Buy the patch. No, I'm just kidding. But
patch American made.
No, it's cool because I mean, I think most people understand just the dynamics of financial and what it does. And at the end of the day, we're trying to create a great product. We're doing it. We just had 2 podiums. We actually had 3 podiums last weekend at the Mountain West Fitness Championships. We had a first place, second place team literally in our gear, and then another podium. They were on second place. So we're literally, half of the podium is made up of our shit.
That's cool.
And I'm like, this is fucking cool.
Have you, about, God, what are those? It's like a CrossFit games, but they have shooting and shit. I went to a couple. What are they?
Tactical games.
Yeah, have you thought about that? That seems like right up your guys' demographic.
Yeah, so again, financial, right?
Yeah. He wants money again.
Our shirts have already made it into that space. We have a ton of SWAT guys using them.
Yeah.
A ton of, in fact, that's how we started dialoguing with some of these cool groups of shooters because they were like, hey, use your shit at the range. I mean, you go to our Instagram page, you'll see, like, there's dudes kicking indoors, there's people on ranges, there's people doing the tactical games, there's people at CrossFit games. What, did you make something that does everything? I'm like, well, kinda. I just kind of made something that does everything I want to do, right?
Feels great, wears great.
100%. So at the end of the day, we're seeing it really kind of make its way and pilot hole into that. And we do have a run time to get into that space. Like Cody Dickerson, the guy I'm talking about, one of our athletes, he's transitioning into the tactical space, the tactical games, because he's a shooter. He's he's prior military. He's now currently in law enforcement. Top 10 at a huge CrossFit, super fit. Dude's jacked. He's super jacked. Amazing human. But yeah, so he's trying to go into that. So we're trying to iterate with him as he grows, we grow. So yeah, I would say probably, if I was to put a guess on it, I'd say 18 months we'll probably have a design for the true competitive tactical arena. But our shirts are already there. Our shirts are in that arena. They're lightweight. They're like a 143 GSM, which is almost an ultra lightweight. And all the things that it's made for, body armor and kits. So yeah, it's definitely made its way there already.
Damn, dude. This is awesome.
Yeah, brother. This was good. We unpacked a lot.
That's how we do it, man.
Dude, that was
and then I've obviously have a little
cool swag
experience in this world, so it's interesting to see because especially the young fish coming into the
big pond.
There's some fucking sharks and piranhas in that motherfucker. But
there's sharks and piranhas in every industry,
everywhere. Yeah.
especially in infrastructure. I was also in the automotive industry before that. So I was I worked for, I'm not going to say it, but a global financial institution. So that's where I started my professional career outside of college.
Okay.
In that car industry. Yes, those are savages. They are savages. Mm-hmm. And you think it's the salespeople, like the guy selling you the car, girl selling you the car? Fuck no. It's the finance dude. Those are the highest paid people at dealerships. Mm-hmm. The highest paid by a long shot.
People just don't know. They're just so uneducated.
No fucking clue. You think the deal's over after you buy your car, you walk in, your guard's down. They're like, you want gap, you want tire and wheel, you want extended coverage, what you want. No, your payment just goes up by a few bucks, and next thing you know, you spend $5,000 and see ya.
Yep.
See ya.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, but this industry's good. I love it. Honestly, I'm less focused on the industry. I'm more focused on the people.
Good.
I come away every event just stoked.
Good.
Photo shoot with a double amputee EOD tech. Fuck, I don't give a fuck about the market. That guy just fucking kicked ass at a gym, like with me, like, hell yeah, dude. Like, who's doing that? I mean, I see it as an absolute privilege. It's a conduit into the community, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
I got a dude I need to get you in contact with. He's one of my best friends. He's a Marine amputee. He's a firefighter now down in Salt Lake, and he's a stud. So he would fit this shit so perfect.
Dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love that. I mean, please send him my way.
Yeah.
That would be great.
If you ever need anybody, man, he's as solid as they come. So,
and I would just say, like, that has been one of the coolest, like, and I know we got to wrap pretty soon, but I would say that's one of the coolest things too, is just constantly just getting people calling and going, hey man, like 2 weeks ago, I had an Army vet just reach out from like New Orleans area, and he was like, "Hey man, I bought your stuff. I love it. Like, could I be like a field team?" And I called him, and he was like, "Huh? What? I didn't think you were gonna call me." I'm like, "The fuck you want me to do?" You know, we're just human beings, dude. Like, nobody.
It's almost sad,
right? Yes,
I get it a lot. Like, guys will message me, and I take it personal. Like, if I reach out to somebody, following or not, and you can't get back to me, but it's a legitimate question. Now, I get DMs.
There's a lot of bullshit.
There's a lot of just noise in DMs, and I'm not going to waste my time on memes and shit like some random people sending me that shit. Right. But like, if I have a father reach out, or somebody that's like a wife wanting to know something and what to get their husband, or just a dad wanting advice, I take my time, and I probably spend way too much time, but I spend several hours a day just trying to get back to, because I feel they're reaching out for a certain reason. Then when they reach out, they're like, "Oh my God, I never thought you would respond." I'm like, bro, like,
well, it's kind of how I felt when you reached out to me, but so it's kind of true. I was like, I don't know what this guy wants to do. I don't know what he wants to do with any of my brand. I mean, we've been around for 6 months.
See, but that's who I am, though. Like, I
appreciate that.
I felt bad for you. I think I sent you the voicemail like, "Yo, dude, I'm not blowing you off."
No, you were good.
Me in the worst. I was guiding. I'm back. I'm on the road. I went back, and
See, anybody who doesn't live around here, you know when hunting season comes, like, people are going to be MIA for a bit. Like, comms are gone. Like, totally get it.
The only reason I'm here this week is because
I'm not offended.
We try to work things out. Like, I'll knock out like 5 or 6 podcasts in a week or so. So then we're done for a couple months. And like her and I walking up here today, we're like, I'm dusting stuff off. I'm like, shit, we haven't been up here in 6-7 weeks because we just had a string. But like. So I have several this week we're going to knock out, but we're out. Like, I'd be gone right now. But she was like, "Dad, we're pretty low on episodes,
on content."
And that's why I had,
hopper.
I got some other guys coming in, but I was like, "Yo, dude, I'm already back this week." And so, but it makes me sad when people
interpret the brand as something bigger.
Because I've worked for brands where like, don't acknowledge them. It doesn't matter. That's
what I'm saying.
We just want customers.
Mindset.
And I'd work for them and be like, "What the fuck?" And then these guys would come and be like, "Dude, holy shit, numbers are this, and man, this guy just placed it." I'm like, yeah, because I just spent the fucking hour on the phone with his wife buying their whole entire family, and they're kitted them out and everything. Like, that's what it takes. And customer service, well, dude, my wife is like the master customer service person, because she worked for some big companies back in the day. Like,
she knows.
She only dealt with when it escalated, and you're just getting the phone like, "You fucking bitch."
She's the firefighter, man. She puts the shit out.
That was her. So she's taught me a lot over the years, so that's one of those things. It's like, dude, just show. I don't care how the numbers in the following, the month. Yeah. Everybody's human, man. And these 100%. People lose track of who they are, and they get this ego and this pride, and like, "Oh man, we're this company now." Like, but it's like, dude, at one point you were begging these people to support you and to buy your product, but now that you're in a box office, you got in the shields, and now you don't respond to people anymore.
It's intentional.
It sucks.
It's just your purpose, man. Like, why are you doing this? And unfortunately, I think that at the end of the day, if the derivative of your purpose is to make money, which you have to be financially viable, but if the derivative of your purpose is just money, like,
you don't last.
You don't last, or you're completely shallow as shit.
Yep.
And honestly, this is fucking fun. I love this. I love going to photo shoots with these dudes, just working out, inviting people into the space, having like CrossFit Northside just say, unfortunately we had a like literally 12 hours before our photo shoot yesterday, got a call and was like, "Hey, we can't have you at our space." I literally called CrossFit Northside. I was like, "Hey guys, like, I know it's like 12 hours. Can I use your space? Like, we're talking a multi-million-dollar facility that they funded, they paid, and they're like, our doors are open for you anytime you want, brother. And I'm like, it gives me chills because I'm just like the humanity. Like, those are the people that you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
That's your team, right? The people that are, hey, I got no time for you. Like, that's when, like, I respond to customer service stuff personally.
Have
Like,
to.
I'm like, hey, man, like, I got you. How can I make it right? Not, hey, you know, this didn't fit right. Like, cool. How can I make it right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's your money. Here's a gift card. Send the shit back. I just want to take care of you.
Yeah.
Right.
That'll
Like,
get you so far, man.
but it takes care of them, right? It feels good to serve.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good. And I love it. I love this. I love the career. I love the ability to do this. And obviously being creative is just in my blood, and just surrounding myself with like-minded individuals that, you know, come from service and just have that heart to do it is really, it's amazing.
Yep.
I wouldn't have it any other way, man. It's challenging as shit though. Super challenging.
Yeah, the fact that you're like, I love this, I'm like, give it time.
Yeah. You just wait. It's like a hot sauce.
We're gonna have a follow-up episode next year. You're like,
Oh,
bro,
shit. Hey, man.
you're gonna be gray
I'm
haired.
selling cars, you know, so I was just kidding.
Got my real estate license.
Oh, shit.
You know?
We're about to go into that market, dude. Interest rates dropping, shit flying off the shelf. Here we go.
Yeah. Well, bro, I appreciate the conversation, man. It's cool to just, you know, I wanted to get your feel of like who you were. Obviously, you know, had some mindsets of being a SEAL, and obviously with due to injuries that got cut short, and then
Being a SEAL trainee, correction. Yep, I just got to be clear. I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah,
anybody
no,
catch this
I
clip
know.
and be
It's-
like, yo, I'm going to get him.
especially that community. Oh
No,
my
no.
God, you just fart in the wrong direction, you're getting crucified. But
And you should.
100%, everybody should, and so that's why I wanted to see what it's like, because there's a lot of people out there that not even just never reach their only goal. If it's SEAL, if it's corporate world, if it's being a teacher, whatever it may be, things change all the time. And so what I love is how dudes pivot.
100%.
That's, to me, those are the stories like that. That's where I want to, like, because you always hear like, oh, I started this brand and blah, 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 blah. And now I'm worth like 20 million. It's like, all right, cool. But like, they don't talk about, dude, I put everything, all of my chips were on becoming a SEAL. I get injured during training. Fucking can't do anything anymore. Now, where's my life here? I got to go corporate. Hey, I might not be satisfied here. I'm wearing this gear and it sucks. And I want to build the best thing that I can possibly put on my body.
Yeah.
And then this is where it leads to is these types of conversations and building a brand. Yeah.
And doing this. I mean, I never would have met you probably.
No.
And it's been such honestly, just a great opportunity. We feel privileged. My team feels privileged. I mean, I can't tell you how many people are like, oh my God, listen to that podcast. Like,
That's dope.
You're going on that pod, like his shit's on all the gun stores I go to. All of them listen to him. Fuck yeah, dude. That's exactly what I said. I thought I was crazy, dude. I was like, I'm gonna tell him. And I was just like, well, I mean, we just feel we feel the same way that we feel when places open their doors to us. We feel the same way when an EOD Marine tech walks up, his wife comes up and says, we have my husband come model for you, right? And I go, he's not a model, he's an athlete. Make that really fucking clear.
Yep.
Like when we work out, we just work out, and there's somebody there taking pictures, and we're not sitting in front of a fucking green screen doing that shit. The point is each exchange like this and with our partners and organizations, it's, if you're looking for small wins and gratification in small business, seek that.
Yep.
Because you will be filled. And obviously, you know, just keep your priorities and make sure that it's not money, and make sure it comes from a good place. That's it.
Put God first.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, bro.
Brother, thank you.
I appreciate it, man. This is great. I love watching the new stuff, the new companies,